your very, well, I suppose, late in a way recap to the Pro Division of the East. And I'm glad to say I've got the one and only Alma with me. Afternoon, Alma.
Hello.
How are we doing? Not bad for your first week. Already got a win under the belt.
Yeah, and now I'm just trying to figure out how to mute the Twitch.
There you go.
It's called the TV remote, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. You know, I tell you what.
Did it? Yeah. It's pretty comfortable first week for me, actually.
Yeah.
Like all that claw and blah blah blah.
3-0.
Doesn't really work that well versus elves.
No, does it? Elves. What would they say about elves? Easy mode, ain't it? How many people will I trigger without saying?
I think, to be honest, mate, look at the MML, it's bloody rats.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It is, I mean...
Let's face it, even NTB can win with them.
Yeah, well, there is that, isn't there? But he does have hot dice, so I think he could win with anything. But yeah, it's going to be interesting then. I mean, it's a bit different this season because we've got all the East teams together in one player pool, and there's more than 8 of them. So it was random to see who played who. You know what? I thought was quite exciting, to be honest. I quite liked it, and that was before I knew I was playing. You know, so I thought, oh, there's a bit of excitement because usually we know we're gonna play and all that stuff, and it was just a case of who do we play first. This time I'm like, oh my god, you know, who are we gonna play? And I preferred it this way, if I'm being brutally honest. And obviously there's 3 playoff things, isn't there? There's 3 playoff tickets. I think they're doing it like MML Blitz this season. It's like they're copying the MML Blitz way, where I think, if I remember correctly, or you can correct me if I'm wrong, the top 2 teams of each division, or the top team of each division, get a bye week while the others play, and then they play whoever gets through there. What I think is quite good for the winners, so they get a bit of a reward. So I quite like that.
I wasn't sure whether they were actually going to do a thingy. I asked Jest about it the other day, whether they're going to do a healing week bye for the top 2 teams, or whether they're just going to go basically go in limbo and then come in with whatever injuries, because obviously it's a big advantage if they get that healing week. But we'll see.
No, I don't think they'll get the healing advantage. I think they'll just don't have to play. They'll play one less game than the others to get to the final, what is a big advantage in itself. So I mean, basically, if you think you've got a chance of getting to the playoffs, it's always important to see who we got round 7, because the last people you want to be playing is a kill team or something like that. Because obviously that could, you could have a great season, and then week 7 you lose a few good players, and then you play against another top team with all their players, and then you can go crashing out. So I always think looking at week 7 is really important to see who you've got. I've wrote down basically a little bit about every single team and who they're playing against, because like I've said, not like, for instance, Los Pumas, who we'll look at first, they will not play everybody. They'll only play 7 of these teams. So, you know.
Los Pumas, you've written down one word. Lazy Smith.
Well, I've just put, right, we'll start off with Los Pumas. We're going to go all the way across, so it'll go Pumas, Jobs, Discipline, all that way. I've got, obviously, they're at 19-10. They've got the Squick Sandwich Kiosk. Now, they've got 5 home games and 2 away games, so that's always nice. You know, if you get your home games in, that's always good. And obviously, they was champions back in the day. Season 4. And we're in Season 23 now. That's a long time. The fans are obviously starved of, getting some more silverware. And obviously, it looks like good old Lazy Smurf, it's his last season. When he will retire, we don't know.
Here's the thing, mate.
Yep.
It could be his last season. I think he needs 6 games. But with all them injury problems, he might not play 6 games this season, so he mightn't retire till next. Because we had the games that he missed don't count.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I've just put key player is Laser Smith, but I've basically put in brackets retirement. There's a chance he will retire this season, and I put it as a question to everybody. Juan Jarro, will he step up and take the mantle? He hasn't been great, has he? Most of the time, he's let his team down, and so it's a bit of a worry what will happen when Lazy Smith goes.
To be honest, mate, you're old enough to remember Faulty Towers.
Yes.
Wanjiro always reminds me of Manuel.
Oh, God. He's not that bad, is he?
You can imagine him chasing around the pitch trying to find a rat.
Yeah, I guess. Apart from obviously Juan, who was obviously Juan and Les Smith. Les Smith's done amazing to live this long with all the injuries he's got. The rest of the team ain't too bad. I mean, Mr. C's a good blitzer. He's agility 4. He's got guard, might blow a strip ball. And you know, he's not a bad piece. Douglas 7's pretty decent as well. Andres Iniesta. Well, he's definitely not an Arsenal player. You know, agility, nice thing to get with your throw straight up. So there is pieces there, and obviously I love Larry, although it looks like he's got niggle now, what's a bit of a worry. TV's quite high though, 1910, but I say that about almost every team.
To be honest, I think for me...
Yeah, while he's talking to him. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, for me, the team actually reminds me of... It, you know, humans like the bit of everything, but not a specialist at everything team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's kind of been developed in the same way. He's got a little bit of agility, a little bit of strength, a little bit of guard, a little bit of this, but he hasn't kind of gone one way or the other. And I always fear that, okay, he'll play the elf teams and he can get outmaneuvered, and he'll play the bash teams and he can get outbashed. He hasn't kind of gone, okay, I can outbash the elf team or I can outmaneuver. I think he's kind of developed it in the same way. But then again, I can't beat the guy, so I should shut up.
I mean, hola, de Marcos. But yeah, I mean, my concern here is he's only got, how many players he got? 11 as well. 50k in the bank. Most of them are AV8. He's got niggles and AV7 busts and everything, and that would be my concern. I mean, I'm looking at his schedule. He's got Golden Discipline at home first. Now that is that's not a good start with all that killy stuff. He's then got his usual free win week 2 against Blood of Amber, because obviously he always beats them. He's got the friendly D8 Yobs who'll probably tickle him to death. And in week 3, then he's got Underground Souls, that could be tricky. Welsh River Rat, I like Hawker, I think that'll be tricky. Then he's got them Cuddly Dwarfs in week 6, what he'll probably smash. And then he finishes off with...
the Dwarf Kill Team, yeah.
Oh, they're a kill team, yeah. I ain't got any claw. Can't be a kill team without no claw. And then
I've got any chainsaws, are they, mate?
No, I don't believe in chainsaws. And the Nocturnal Beast in week 7. The Nocturnal Beast already scaring people. Dragoon is scared stiff of the beasts. Really scared of him, apparently. He's hoping that Shaker Dog does his job for him. So that was interesting.
To be honest, mate, I wouldn't be scared of the Nocturnal Beast. Just stick the night light on.
Very good, very good. What do you think of his schedule then? Your strength of schedule? I mean, there's obviously trip first up. He's got you, who obviously is going to win this season in second week. He's got Hawker. He's got Shaky Dog. He's got me. Obviously, he's got Dragoon's Boogie Girl, the Nocturnal Beasts. I mean, it's not going to be easy, is it?
Oof. I think, to be honest, mate, if you offered Disco them games, he'd probably take them over the ones he's avoided, purely because he won't feel like any of them teams, besides maybe yours and Trips, are like going to be able to like smash him to bits. Whereas you got Zidzy's team, you got South's team, both of whom can just base him up and knock the crap out of his team. And I think with Disco, he kind of wants to get to a season where by like week 3 or 4, he's actually got a bench again. And if he plays them teams, he mightn't. So I think he's probably happy that he's actually avoided a couple of the thingies. On the other side, he's avoided all the goblins as well, I think.
Yeah, yes, he's got no goblins.
Which is a mixed blessing, and, you know, okay, potentially like an easier win and a lot of SPP, but potentially you're losing 3 or 4 players with Kaz. Yeah. So I think he'd probably take the schedule he's got, because I think Disco, if you offer them an MML title this year, or Lazy Smith retiring and getting the I think the MML record's really close to him on SPP, I think he'd probably take the latter, because it's kind of almost like seeing out the journey with Smith, which is the journey with the Pumas.
Yeah. See, to me, I want the
title. Until he
title.
retires, then he go, I want a title.
No, I want the title. I'd want a title. No plays bigger than the franchise or your team. I would, even with Mad Frankie Fraser, I loved so much. If it was title, but Frankie dies, or Frankie lives and retires, but you don't get a title, I'll pick the title every time. At the end of the day, that's what we're here for, to try and win the title.
Here's your box, Frankie. We'll make room where the box used to be that you were bury you in. We'll put the cup there.
We'll put your medal there as well. So you've been a good servant. But I think the thing with me with Los Pumas is if they lose Lazy early on, it's going to be a struggle for them all season. I think the schedule's not great for them. They've got I mean, look at that. I mean, they've got Trip and you in the first 2 weeks. That's a pretty tough. And then you got Shaky Dog at week 4, who he got diced to oblivion in the playoffs. I think he could have won the final. Yeah. He's that good. And he's got Hawker week 5.
I think Disco's got a really hard start. No bench, Jesus. Playing Trip first week, you want to be able to either not make the bench a factor by being able to bash him early on. He's not going to be able to do that. Not make the bench an issue by being able to outmaneuver him. He's not really going to be able to do that. So therefore, Trip's got to basically line up and just try and knock the players out.
Yeah. I don't know.
And you know the way Trip is. Trip will try to kill Smurf.
Yeah.
And Gyro, and Larry, and Tin Cup, and basically the entire team. Until he's won the game, and then Trip's Trip. He basically won't go overboard. You know what I mean? He plays winning the G-Bad or whatever it's called.
Is it the D-Bad? I think it's called.
D-Bad. I don't know, mate. I always say G-Bad.
G-Bad. Hi, by the way, Shaky Dog. I just think when I looked at all these schedules, I think Disco's got probably one of the hardest. I mean, I appreciate what you're saying about other stuff, but again, looking at them coaches, that is a serious gauntlet of fire he's got to go through. Like I said, we will tell you at the end of the stream which 3 we think will make the playoffs. We are going to exclude Alma though, because Alma's already guaranteed he's going to win it. So we're saying if he basically
we'll choose the people who are going to get the other 2 playoff spots.
Basically, we're going to put it that someone has actually realised that Alma's actually a British spy in Russia and they've kidnapped him, so he cannot finish the season. So that's the way we're playing it. So if that happens, I want to know his other 3 picks. So that's the way we're going to do it.
I'm going to give you a really weird suggestion here, by the way, that if Smurf either retires or is killed very early season, I think Dave will have a very good season.
Really?
I think he'll actually play better, not having that one turn. I actually do, mate.
Yeah, I'll go on the other side of the fence. I think if Lazy goes bye-bye and Juan does what Juan does, I think they'll have a miserable season. I'm not saying they won't win games, but I think any chance they've got of the playoffs relies on Lazy Smurf, in my humble opinion. He's carried this team for a long time, and when he's gone, there's no, you can't expect, unless Juan all of a sudden comes out of the shadow, Lazy Smurf, and starts doing what he should be doing.
He's already got that armor bust, hasn't he? So what he really needs to do, he needs to get a niggle, a strength down, maybe an agility down, and he's going to become the new Smurf.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. We'll see with the Pumas. I think the schedule really makes it uphill for them, but hey, it is what it is. The Yobs then smashed the Pinkskins, season 16 CL champions. I watched their game against the Goblins, and what did I put down in my notes? I put the 8 Yobs. They've got the Magic Dome. I can't pronounce the name of the key player, so I'll come back to that. But in my notes for questions, I put got to be brave and decisive. 10-1, blitz against the Goblins. The ball is there. Go and get it. Go and get the ball. And he didn't. He just put his players around him, and then obviously he left his best player for that game bad off, open, and unfortunately he got injured first time by a blitz. And I'm like, that was you catch that ball, you've got a good chance of winning the game. All I can think of is thought, the chainsaw's nearby, I don't want to lose a player. Ironically, he did lose a player regardless. He's one of his best players, and it was a very scrappy game. And I don't know. I just think if the Yobs are going to do well this season, they've got to be mean. They've got to be decisive. They've got to put the bodies on the line. The Orcs. They're not Goblins. They're Orcs. You know, they've got to be brave, and that you know. And the other thing as well is like, you know, South has already said they're just too nice. They don't break stuff, and again, they was too nice. You know, they just didn't do anything.
Here's the thing, though, mate. I think they don't break that much stuff because South doesn't play to break stuff. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You look at his team, right? He's got 1, 2, 3 stand firm players. Four stand firm players. Right. Only 2 of them have MB. The other 2 got stand firm before they go for like Mighty Blow. It's kind of built as a, okay, we're going to be hard for you to move the ball first, rather than we're going to basically break your team. We'll see the other Orc team in a bit, and it's built a lot differently.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with this team. It's built right. I don't have an issue with it. If I had this team, I'd be pretty confident I'd be able to do something with it. And to be fair, he got to the playoffs last season. He did really well last season. I still stand by that he blew it in the playoffs. I mean, Shaky Dog does what Shaky Dog does. He saw a little chance, and I actually called it before he did it. You know, and that's why obviously Shaky Dog's such a great coach. I like Yobs. I love the coach South. I think he's such a nice guy. I really always, as Shaky Dog says, I always pick the Yobs. I do, because he's such a great decent human being, he's Southie, and he's playing Orcs, what's my favourite race, and I want him to do well. So yeah, I am biased towards the Yobs, but I will say this, I was extremely concerned with their first week. They'll probably be a bit, you know, with shaking the cobwebs off and all that sort of stuff, but when I saw him not go for the ball 10-1 blitz, I'm like, mate, if you want to get to the playoffs, you've got to put your body on the line. You Orcs, not Goblins. And you know, it was a messy game as it can be against Goblins. I hate playing against Goblins. I'll be honest. But yeah, again, I don't know. I just couldn't understand why he didn't put someone under the ball. I really do, to be honest. I put his main player. I'll murder this, but is it Nalrud Fairbeer or something? I don't know how you pronounce that. He sounds German to me. But yeah, that number 2, I think that's his key player. But I've put it as a question mark, got to be brave and decisive. You know, he's got to, you know, when he's on top like he was against Shaky Dog in the playoffs, you've got to punch it in. And you know, that's something what, you know, that's my only concern with them. I'm always going to cheer on the Yobs. They're one of my favourite teams. I've made no secret, and I will be cheering them on all season as I always do. Fingers crossed they'll have a great season. But it's built well. He's built them well. I don't have an issue. He's still got a decent amount of Mighty Blow. Like I said, against the Goblins, he did lose number 3 first turn, so that was a big loss.
He also lost his Troll Dead.
Oh yeah, his Troll died as well, didn't he? But you know, Glowworm came out and said, "Look, I'm going to foul and break everything." So you know, he's already said that. It's nothing personal the way the Goblins play. So you know, fair enough. Let's have a look. Bezo, yes. Yeah, I've got a camera, mate, but I'd have to make it a rated 18, wouldn't I? If I did that. Laser Strips here as well. Nice one, Laser. Hi there. And obviously, Ben's already got his man crush on.
As for my camera and all that, I'm pretty sure the wife wouldn't appreciate it. If I'm going to talk to like a big group of men, and I'm going to stick the camera on, wife. Like, what are you doing? Well, at least wear pants.
Yeah. Yeah, Bezo. Yeah, exactly, Bezo. And you know what? The missus, I'll get in trouble with the missus, and then I'll have like random people coming to my door. But yeah, I want the Obs to do well, and the team's built well enough to do well, and I think he'll have a decent season. He always does, but will it be enough to make the playoffs? I've tipped him to get the playoffs last season. He did, so you know, good on him there. Looking at the schedule, well, he's obviously played Madness, Mayhem, and Love, and got a draw and lost his Troll. He now plays the Orc team, so we're going to have an Orc off. He then plays Los Pumas. He then plays Hawkers, Welsh River Rats. He then plays them Goblobbers. Then he plays the Nocturnal Beast, who Dragoon's scared of. And then he plays Blood Amber, never heard of him. Some Dark Elf team last week. So, you know. Bezo says easy group then. So, well, there you go. I think there's something...
No, it's not that easy, Bezo. You're not there, mate.
Oh, shots are fired. Shots are fired.
I played Bezo when he was playing Rats once, mate. Oh, God.
Okay, there we go. Like I say, we'll have a look at the other Rogue team soon. I think there's definitely some wins there for him. There's definitely some wins there. Is it going to be enough to get to the playoffs? We'll see.
I don't think I think he's avoided some of the more difficult, like, if you want to say, rather than saying the better coaches or the better teams, I'll do the coach team matchup, because there's some great coaches in here whose team are not that great. Hawkers is a big example of it.
Yeah.
And then there's other coaches who've got very good teams, and maybe the coach isn't as good as the team has developed. Without like naming names, like, well, Bernie obviously.
Money's in the post.
Yeah, like obviously you've got a very, very well developed team, but you're a bit of a crap coach.
That's it.
I only say this because I don't play you.
It's funny how many people say that to me when they don't play me. It's funny that, but yeah. But no, I mean, I love the Ops.
Wait there, Bezo. Hey, Bezo. How are you doing, Bezo? Oh, this better. I talk like Yorkshire.
Hey, now then, lad. Hey, don't start on the Yorkshire lot.
Oh, Cornish pasties. Oh, Yorkshire puddings.
How dare you say Cornish pasties? We're bloody Yorkshire. Yorkshire puddings, we'll give you that one. But Cornish pasties, that's down south, isn't it? Bears, I don't know if Bears was actually taking the mick or he knows that who you are. Bears, do you know who's in the chat with me? I'm not going to say who you are. I'm hoping he knows, but if he doesn't, we'll tell him. He says he doesn't know what you're saying, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, the Ops, I think they've got a chance. I just think they've got to be a bit more decisive. And when they've got the foot on the throat, don't let it go. So I'm glad I'm not
Barry,
playing.
I'll just need to add something very important. Bezo, I did live in Doncaster, so I used to live in Yorkshire, and trust me, the local girls had no problem with my accent.
Tripress is smart. Sounds very Russian. Maybe Alma. He's not Russian. He doesn't sound Russian though.
Привет, Trip.
I don't start that stuff. Can't understand English now. I'm Russian. So yeah, I'm glad I'm not playing the Ops because I don't want to play him because I like the Ops. So I'm happy with that. But it'd be interesting.
Sounds a really nice guy.
I
think
him.
he's got an easier schedule than he could have, but at the same point, I would have thought the Goblins' first week was a pretty good first week game, and he drew it, so
yeah.
Anything can happen. The problem with the Goblins is they can fucking do anything on the right day.
The problem with Goblins is people expect you to beat them, but if Goblins have a good day, they can beat anyone. I mean, obviously we do Rebel Clan, and obviously Anani was a very good coach. He got smashed to pieces. His Orcs got smashed to pieces by Goblins.
Yeah.
So it can happen, and when that happens, it's so
Have you seen the chat, mate?
Yeah, I've seen it. No wonder you're so popular there, so.
Razor, mate, he said daft sounding people and not daft looking people.
Oh, God. Right, talking about certain people, we're on to Triporus and Golden Discipline. Now, apparently he wasn't going to be in it, but now he is in it. I'm glad he is in it, and he's come back with his Norse.
Yeah, to be honest, mate, I got a message off Serious Jest. He was so happy when Trip came back for another season.
Was he? Was he that happy? Was he? I know.
I'm just making it up.
I know. Jest is a big fan of Trip, so yeah, that's fair enough. All I put here is key player is Gravity Kills. I think this guy needs to fire this season. He's just a bit of everything. And what did I put? Oh, I put as a question mark Terminator. Obviously Terminator bombed at the box office. Will this one bomb as well? Agility, Mighty Blow. What's this guy gonna be? He's already got a ball carrier in the Flare number 8, or is he now gonna make Terminator a ball carrier? I don't know what he's gonna do with him. I'm gonna guess is he's gonna go in, hit, and then dodge away on a 2+. I think this TV's again 1820. It's not too high, but it's not low, and he's only got 11 players as well, and it's AV7 with 11 players. What's the worry? It's a concern for me that. I don't know about what you think. But yeah.
He's got his Adzi up, mate, so he can do his jump up block better.
Oh, there you go. You see, I didn't even realise that. So
yeah,
there you go.
I think he's healthy. But both the Zerkers got jump up. Oh, actually, did they come with jump up?
Yeah,
they do, don't they? Yeah.
They come with jump up. Yeah, I mean there is that as well. But I mean they jump. But then again, you say that, but they jump up on a 2+ anyway. So why would you need agility for a jump up? You can't do it on a 1+. Dragoon, what have you missed?
It's probably so when he gets the agility bust when he plays.
But when you give him a pounding, right? Okay.
I killed his Yeti. I think broke a Ulf or Zerka last time.
Crikey!
He beat me like. He beat
you on the scoreboard and you beat his team up. That
it's kind of like the opposite of what. It's
Yeah.
kind of opposite of what Trip normally aims for, isn't it?
Yeah. Dragoon says, I'm in the house, what have I missed? Only thing you've missed is that Dragoon is scared of Panda. That's all we've said about you so far. And you're hoping Shake will do your job for you. That's all we've said about you so far. We'll come to your team, obviously, when we go along.
For me, Trip's team, it's a lot better than it was a couple of years ago, I think, or a couple of seasons ago when I played it. It's a bit more developed. But no bench, no money.
Yeah, that is a worry, isn't it? But then again, I suppose we'd have to look at his schedule, what's important as well. He's got 3 home games for where he's got the base standards as enhancement. I mean, he's got Los Pumas, as we know, first up. That's not terrible. Then he's got the Dark Elves of Mordhal Saints. He's then got Dragoons Lizards. He's then got Goblobbers. He's then got the other Goblin team, Glowworms. The Madness ones. And then he's got you. And then he's got Diocletian Breaker. That is not a bad schedule. I'm going to put it out there now. If he doesn't make the playoffs, he can't blame the schedule.
Yeah, it's a decent schedule, but it's Norse, and Trip's got to be taking a lot of hits, giving a lot of hits. He can break teams, but if he loses, say, Gravity Kills or Foo Fighter or something like that, is half his hitting power goes, and it's going to be a hard season.
Yeah, but who's gonna do the damage though? I mean, obviously the goblins can boot and foul and all that sort of stuff, as Glowworm said. That's the way he's going to play it. But saying that, I think he had a good game. Dragoon's Killer Lizard had a good game. Killosaurus in the first week, so he's got a mighty blow. But I always think Trip's smart enough to, if one or two major pieces, he'll try and take him out early. I think, like you said in a few others, this schedule could have been a lot worse for him.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm playing him. I think week 6 because it could go one or two ways. He could have like a freaking 15 players, and then it's going to be a nightmare. But he could also have 1 or 2 players missing and a lot of damage on his team just from playing physical. But it's Trip, and he's a good player, mate.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if I'm looking at a negative for Trip here, is week 7. He's got them big, nasty Diocletian orcs. That's not what you want week 7. Definitely don't want them week 7 when you're a brittle team like Norse. So that's going to be. I mean, it'll be a good game, and I certainly wouldn't count Trip's not getting a result there. But week 7, you don't want to be going into week 7 needing a result. And obviously, if you make the playoffs and your team's broken in half because of week 7, that's going to be an issue.
The problem with that last week game is you can literally, because of the strength of the team and the guard, you can literally just base them up.
Yeah, it can just bully them, can't you?
Yeah, Trip will take chances because he always does. He's a really aggressive player, so he can actually take advantage of that. But you can get his team smashed as well. Yeah. And that's nothing to do with coaching ability, because I rate Trip as a very good coach. Although I hate saying that because he's listening. And he's basically doing that on a little audio loop now. It's like, oh, I finally understood something I almost said.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, Trip has a good record. I mean, last season, my breaking thing was he wouldn't make the playoffs. He was disgusted with that. But guess what? He didn't make the playoffs. So I feel pretty smug for getting something right, at least. So it'd be interesting to see if he'll make out 3 this season. But I think his schedule ain't bad. It ain't bad, especially early on. He needs to rack up the points early, I think, because that seems he doesn't want to be going into the last 2 weeks needing wins, is what I'm going to say, because that's not going to be easy, I don't think, personally. But
I think the first week will set a lot of this season for Trip. He's playing the human team, who can't really outmaneuver him that much, and definitely can't outbash him, so it should be one that he can basically just really bully Disco's team.
Yeah, yeah. Right, let's move on to the Goblobbers then. Gareth's team, who obviously didn't have a good time week 1. They got absolutely smashed by Dragoon's team. Yeah, I mean, they've lost the Looney for the next game, was a bit of a blow. I've got on here, key play was Mad Mick, I think that Fnatic. Obviously he's got a level up. I would imagine Might Blow will come in there, then he's got a block Might Blow Fnatic, was always nice. But my question mark with this team was find a way to score. In the last, 5 games, the last 4 games they haven't scored a touchdown. They've lost 3-0, 3-0, 2-0, 2-0. And all of a sudden they've just forgot how to score. And that is a concern. So they need to get back on that. But I mean, I saw some of the game. Basically, the reptilian people, every time it felt like every time they hit, they just removed a goblin. It was one of those games where goblins just exploded, and you can't do much as a goblin player when that happens. So
yeah, here's another thing that I'd look at as well, mate. Besides this week's game, the previous 2 games were both versus teams that he's going to play again this year. Nocturnal Beasts and Badger.
Tiff Tigers smashed him, didn't he? And he plays Tigers next week as well. So that is a tough one. His schedule's an interesting one. I'll read what he's got. So he's got the Lizards, and obviously he lost 2-0 to them. He's then got Tiff Tigers, who beat him 3-0. He's then got Dwarfageddon. He's then got Golden Discipline. Then the Eight Yobs. Then Diocasian, and then Model Saints. That is a brutal, absolute brutal schedule.
Is there an NFL record for amount of pitch clears against your team?
It's not going to be easy for him. I mean, Dice are fickle.
Every one of them games, you can actually see him literally finishing the game with 1 or 2 players. Besides week 7.
I mean, Dice are fickle. I mean, he got an absolute beating by a team that doesn't have much might blow in the first week, and he's got you got obviously Tiff Tigers who've got Mighty Blow Claw. You've got Dwarfageddon who've got a decent amount of Mighty Blow and Tackle as well. You've got Golden Discipline, a couple of Pylon. Golden Discipline who basically got everything as well. Frenzy, Pylon, Mighty Blow. Yeah, Yobs probably might tickle him to death as we've already realised. God help him against Diocasian Breacher. And Model Sage could even slap him about a bit. Because I think Dark Elves do have a good record against Goblins with all the
I think he's got a couple of Mighty Blow. Jammy's got a couple of Mighty Blow now. The thing about the Elves is they got the speed to be able to get the Goblins.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get his best chance really is 1-turners firing.
Yeah, but he hasn't really got anything special goblin-wise, and no agility up, no move up even. It's kind of But again, you don't really want goblin teams to be that high TV. You're working on inducements, aren't you? Really? But I still think, when you add a goblin to an orc team, you want it with agility up or something like that. Or the same with Underworld team, you want your goblin to have something a little bit special. I think you want one goblin at least to be okay. I can throw him and he might die immediately when he lands.
I mean, he's got 4 home games, 3 away games, so he's obviously played 1 home game already. He's got the ref.
I'm guessing he's got Nuffle also, yeah.
No, he's got the ref. He's got the ref thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And one of his away games has got the Nuffle Altar as a home thing, so that'll help him as well. So
yeah, wouldn't Nuffle's Altar be better?
I don't know. I mean, it depends. I always take Nuffle's Altar.
Brab's a 50k for goblins, aren't they?
I always think with Brab, the Brab enhancement is that, you're getting yourself for free Brab. Bearing in mind, Brab's only 50k for goblins, but what you're doing as well is you're giving the other team a Brab, what may not usually foul,
The counterpoint is, say if he's playing the likes of you, and he's got Nuffle's Altar and all that, obviously you pick Boommaker, you're paying 10k for him or something. Yeah, and then you take it away from him being able to get it as well, so.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Sure. No, they're both different goblins, aren't they? Both different bombers, I think.
Yeah.
But I think
he's still giving you a cheap foul piece for 10k otherwise, you know what I mean? Because you'll pick him up.
I
just like a shaky would pick it.
Yeah, I feel for him this season, I really do. I mean, he may have that game where everything goes right, pray it's not against me, and he'll get a draw, or win. But I think this is going to be, a painful season. I really do for the Goblobbers. I mean, it would have been nice. It would have been nice.
Nasty.
Yeah, it'd have been nice if it had played the other Goblins, because that's always fun. Goblin v Goblin, but he hasn't unfortunately got that. But man, gee, I feel for him. I really do. I can't. I think maybe his best chance of a win is next week against TAFE Tigers, but then he lost 3-0 last time he played him. But it's funny how that can happen. You can get beat 3-0 one week, then play the same guy and beat him the following time. So I think his best chance is next week against the Tigers, who
what he's got to do to get a result versus Badger, he's got to take the Minotaur out, because if Badger, he'll basically line up the Minotaur and he'll be charging the Trolls with it. And if he removes his Trolls, well, game over.
Yeah. 6 wins, 4 draws, 17 losses. I fear for him this season. I do, honestly, unfortunately.
It'll be a hard season for him.
It is what it is. Right then, Hawker then. Let's have a look at Hawker. Welsh River Rats then got to the final.
Mate, with Hawker's team, what you can just do, right, is just do create fresh rat team. And it'll look pretty similar.
You see,
There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's one ogre and one gutter.
There is, to a set. See, this is where I really double down on the coach. This is Hawker. Really, really top-class coach. Rats, as NTB's proven already, you do not need a decent team to win the pros. It's a simple fact with teams like Rats and Wood Elves and stuff. First week he's now got his movement 10 piece, but to me Hawker's one of the best 110ers in Blood Bowl in the world, so that will probably a problem. Obviously the Rat Ogre's got to be big because he's got Claw, Mighty Blow, and I've got down here, where are we? In my notes, Welsh, I've got key player is Mascut because I know all his gut runners he can 110 with. But
here's the thing about it, mate. Right, I think there's probably about 4 games on his record he's not going to be able to 110 best.
Ooh.
He ain't going to be better than 110 best either Orc team, because they've got stand firm.
Right.
They've got stand firm and they've got the strength just to line her up, and he's basically forced into red dice. He's not going to be able to do it versus you because you'll just put 3 guard dwarf something like.
He 110 against me last season. But I mean this season I will. I've been looking how to defend 110, so this will be hilarious. I'm going to try and properly defend 110 in this season, so that that's not going to go well.
Best way to defend the 110, kill the 110ers.
Exactly. See, that's the way I go, but I get frowned upon when I say stuff like that. Is this team any good? Not really, but the coach is good enough to do something with his team. Don't forget, this team still got to the Challenge playoff final. So, that team was just basically similar to this anyway. He hasn't really lost nothing. Looking at his schedule, it is Dwarfageddon first week, Underground Souls week 2, the Nocturnal Beasts, who Dragoon scared off week 3, the Eight Yobs week 4, that will tickle him to death, Lost Pumas week 5, may not have Smurf anymore, the Modal Saints week 6, and TAFE Tigers week 7. What do you think of that schedule?
I think Hawker's good enough to go 7-0. The team's not.
Yeah, I could go with that. But again, I've seen many times where the coach will do well with teams because they're just a great coach, positioning wise, So I think this is a good schedule for him. I think this schedule really will help Hawker. Week 1's an interesting one because obviously it's against me. I'm not looking forward to it, but I always play the underdog card, so no different there. I know he's good enough to beat me if I'm not on my game. But yeah, Huck will do well with it on his inducements. Exactly. I think the first 2 weeks are the 2 weeks. I think if he can get wins out of them or gets positive results, he's got a good chance of making the 3. If he was to lose against the Geddon and Underground Souls, then it is a bit of an uphill. But I certainly think he's good enough to get out of that schedule because of who he is.
He's basically entirely relying on playing inducements well.
And he can do that. Yeah. That's the thing.
Here's the difference. Like, obviously, I know Hawker well, and I really rate him as a coach. But like with NCB, the difference between NCB's team and his, NCB used the really good inducements, blah 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 blah. But he had pieces to base the inducements around. Hawker's got nothing. He's like literally got, what was it, a horns gutter, a block gutter, Two fresh stone vermin, one's busted up as well. A lineman with wrestle, and a rat ogre who, is good. But how many times is that rat ogre going to be getting knocked out in games?
Yeah, I mean, the rat ogre with a sensible coach, because he's got frenzy, you can easily frenzy trap a rat ogre. He's like, you want to hit him, fine, you're going to go into the rest of my players. And when you've only got the one sort of like big threat, especially say against most people will dial upon that rat ogre, and they will willingly try and beat the crap out of it. I mean, Hawk will be fine with that as long as because it leaves his gutters away. I mean, gutters are easy to level. I think if he lost his gutters early in the season, then he's in trouble because obviously you can only get that. I can't remember what's like. Is it Stab Snicket or whatever? I can't remember his name. Stab, is it? I don't know. Skitterleap, whatever. I don't know.
Stab.
That's the fella. But I mean, like I said, he can still get that other claw piece as well. But there's no guard here, so I mean, I'm just looking back at his schedule now. I don't think it's a bad schedule. I really don't. I mean, the Nocturnal Beast rely on their two wolves, but he ain't going to be scared of them. The Yobs, like I said, they should outguard him. But again, I think Hawk might be able to outposition him. Los Pumas, again, it depends what's left of the Los Pumas. I think the Dark Elves are a tricky one. And I think he'll run up a score against the Tigers. I'm brutally honest. I think he'll be another. He'll do what you did. I think he'll probably win to like 3-1, 3-0. So I don't see that.
Yeah, he'll win Best Badger, I think. Unless Badger's dice just it's a chaos team, and any of the chaos teams they can beat anybody.
I mean, it's hard in a way because like we don't know what's going to be left of the teams by the time we get to week 7. But I know, I agree with what you're saying. And I'm sure the people in Chalba are saying, yeah, I agree with Alma. I think this team ain't good enough to get to the playoffs. I am adamant that the coach can carry this team because I mean, Rats you can win with Rats like you can win with Wood Elves with a rubbish team, and he can play Wood Elves well, and he's proven he can play Rats well. So I don't know. I'm not gonna say these can't make the playoffs. So we'll see. Right, Underground Souls then. Last season I streamed the game against NTB. I gotta say, me and Jess watched it, and we was even off air. We was like, man, that was one of the worst Dysons I have seen in a long time. NTB was leaving stuff open. Shaky was doing everything right, and nothing was like dub skulls, dub one. No, not having it. And I really felt for Shaky. I mean, it had a rough blitz season as well, and to go out like he did in the semi-final, I really felt for him. Saying that it's a new season, again, he's a great Underworld coach. Again, he's going to fancy his chances to do well. What did I put in here? Underground Souls. I think the key player is more of a combination. I think Aldgate is a very important piece to the Underworld Goblins. He's agility 4, obviously. He's got the horns as well. And obviously he's very good for one turning. So him and Sam Pancras, I think they'll be a very key combination. And obviously I think Aldgate can do certain things.
I despise that goblin.
Yeah, I think a few people do.
I really hate it.
Yeah, does he like to go against you all the time? But...
Yeah, I think I was winning 2-0 versus him, and he beat me 3-2, and it was entirely down to that goblin. I couldn't stop him. I couldn't pick the ball up, and the goblin fucking was doing everything. It was just horrible. It was like, when you see a car crash and you slow down to watch it. I think people were driving past the game and just slowing down to watch what was happening.
Oh wow, that bad.
Yeah,
I put question.
Terrible.
I just put question mark. I put like no guard. Now I know they've got one guard, but to me, if they run up against guard teams, are in trouble. And obviously fragile. Obviously, Underworld teams are very. They can be doing really well, then they'll have the bad game, and half the team will just get wiped out. I mean, he's got a lot of like goblins as chaff, and obviously a lot of them got 2 heads, so he can maneuver them about a lot easier. But yeah, if he was to lose a few of these big players, then he could have a problem. Looking at his schedule, let's see what he's got. He's got Nocturnal Beasts first week. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure there, because not only does he have to win, he has to wipe the team out, so Dragoon gets to win as well, because obviously Dragoon's very scared of the Necro. So he's got to do it he's got to basically win twice, week 1. Then he's got the Welsh River Rats. Now that should be a good game. He's then got Blood of Amber. Again, should be a good game. Then he's got Los Pumas, depending what shape Los Pumas in. That should be a good game. He's then got Dragoon, who obviously will owe him a favour if he does his job week 1. He's got TAFE Tigers, and then he's got the MML Madness, Mayhem, and Love week 7. It's a tough start, but again, it's certainly a schedule I'd feel confident he could definitely have a shot at getting there. It definitely got a good chance of being in that top half at the very least.
He's also a really good coach as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a very good coach.
So yeah, it's one of the ones I look at, and I'm not scared of the team, but with the team and the coach, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a tough game. It's one of them games where I was happy and sad to see it on the schedule, because I'm like, okay, a really good coach, it's going to be a good game, and then it's like, yeah, I probably would have preferred other coaches.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to play him. I'll be honest, I was like, yay, I get to play Shaky, thank God for that. But yeah, I think he's going to be there or thereabouts. He's got a proven record, especially at the highest level. And like I said, it could have made the final last season if the dice were just so horrific.
I might be wrong, and people might say, oh no, he's did it versus me. I don't think he tips either. Because I didn't notice him doing it versus NTB in the worst dice game I have ever seen. I
think he was frustrated about it, and it took a lot out of him. But he seemed to.
There's frustration on tipping though, mate. He didn't start doing stupid stuff in response to the dice. Like, as I said, I played him a couple of seasons ago. I was 2-0 up, everything was going perfect, and he beat me. Yeah, and coaches that tip don't tend to do that. Yeah,
he's very, very, and that's an important thing to have. We know, as we've said before, the certain coaches in Blood Bowl, you know, if you get them tipping or get in the head, you've won. You know, they just unravel.
Oh yeah.
This guy doesn't do that. As you said, he proved that last season, and he proved it in Blitz as well. You know, the way
he proved it in Cladder as well, mate. Yeah, I think he got to the semi-final in Cladder. Not last year, but the one before.
Yeah, he's a good coach. I think no one's doubting that. So yeah, I think like I said, he's got the Nuffle Altar as well. Now, how many home games has he got? He's got only 2 home games and 5 away, so that's annoying. And ironically, one of them home games is the first week.
Goblins.
And the last one is the Goblins, so he's actually helping the Goblins out as well. It's like I am. So yeah, he'll be like, well, cheers for that. But I think he'll be there or thereabouts. Will he make the playoffs? Well, we'll tell you if we think so. Obviously, at the end of it.
And the caveat with it is, he could have one of them games where the team just breaks.
Yeah, and you can say that about probably any team, but Underworld are more likely to break than say like an Orc team, for instance. I wasn't gonna say that. I don't want to say that.
I do, mate.
Yeah, no, you will. TAFE Tigers. They got a spanking first week. I saw a bit of the second half, and I didn't think you actually played that well, to be honest.
I didn't.
And you still won 3-0, so that's a worry for everybody else. What did I put about him? I put key player is the AV7 Mano, because his TV is 1910. That is a ridiculously high TV for what he's got. Now, I know Chaos blow it quite highly, but you have got 260k on an AV7 piece. It's got Juggernaut and Block. I think that is... I don't like that. Tentacles, I do like that. Claw, obviously, is a must. But 260k on an AV7 piece is a huge amount of TV, I think.
On an AV7 piece, which occasionally just goes, I don't feel like playing.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, a lot of times I just stand there and go, I ain't going to do now. I'm just going to stand here, unless you give me something to hit, and then I'll probably roll a 1 and just stand here anyway. I mean, obviously Tentacles helps, and obviously Block's always nice to have, but I think that's a lot of money. So if that,
and the Claw, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
In this division, not as much. There's like the Orcs and you and Lizards, but there's a lot of like AV7, AV8 as well.
We're not going to be bothered about it.
Okay, Claw, fine.
Yeah, we're not going to be bothered about it. And like I say, them Orcs and Dwarfs, they've got a lot of guard, so they can actually, you know, if they want to go after the Mano, they certainly can go after the Mano. And obviously with it being on the AV7, it's like we're hitting with Claw as long as we've got Mighty Blow.
Mate, I think I was missing my Pommer for the game. If I had my Palmer for that game, I'd go after the minor.
Yeah. So
Because you can get the easy 2 dice on them, AV7, pylon, okay, 260k TV off the pitch.
Yeah, I posed my question mark, and I did chuckle when I put this. I put only 3 claw. I'm used to the Tigers having like 5 claw plus. So I'm like, oh my god, he's only got 3. What's he going to do? He's only got 3. Number 4 is a really nice piece. I really like number 4. I think that's a really good piece. And obviously number 11's not bad either. But, you know...
A lot of the players look really good until you look at them a bit more. Like 13, 15, Tendley, Tusk and Pythagars, is it? They look really good. You're like, well, both got agility 4, both got mutations. Well, one's got mutations, one's kick return and short hands. Wow, yeah, good pieces. And they haven't got block. They haven't got dodge.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got to have your ball carrier with bludged if preferable, but at least blocked up for chaos. At 1900 TV, not block on your ball carrier. On 2 of them, it's like it's basically it's the equivalent of having your ball carrier on a 2K Delph team, say as a normal lineup. For all that it matters, it's got agility 4, but it's got no skill that defends himself. Hawker will be knocking that ball out. Anybody with speed that can get to them will be knocking the ball out.
Yeah. I mean his record: 70 wins, 16 draws, 57 losses, was pretty brutal. But it's not always about the winning, like having fun, and that's fine.
He's really, to be honest, mate, I've played Badger a lot in form, a couple of times in the league. He's a really nice guy to play, he's a nice guy to talk to and all that. And he plays the game and he has fun. And he basically, he's not going to play the book. Play it by the book exactly the way everybody says you need to play it. He plays it his own way, and he'll win sometimes, he'll lose sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he does it in the right spirit.
I mean, he had a good record last season, so he's obviously
he had a really good season.
2-3-2, so that's a really solid season. So if he can improve on that,
unless I'm mistaken, I think it might have been like, bear in mind, Badger's been in the league a hell of a long time. It might have been his first ever pro season as well.
Oh, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, like I say, a decent season regardless. Like I say, there is some key plays there. I just think for what he's got, that is a really high TV. And when 260k is in a manner, what you said, if you don't blitz with him, it's a 4+ for him to even move. So 50-50. So, out of the 16 10s, if you don't blitz with him, 8 of them 10s, he should just stand there and do nothing. So it's a big risk, and that's the problem with Manos. But if he has a going day, obviously he could win him a game. So it'll be interesting to see how we go. More Dark Saints then. Another Dark Elf team, not an Alma Dark Elf team. I haven't seen this guy play, but reputation says he's a very good coach. I'll obviously play this team this season, so I'll see for myself. Looks very healthy compared to yours. Looks a very healthy team. He's got a bench, 12 players, Alma. Crikey, that's impressive.
What is this madness?
I don't know, man. I'm
interesting before next week whether he goes to 13, because he can do.
Could do, couldn't he?
It depends who he's playing next week, because he had a game this week versus City.
Yeah, got a draw. Got a good draw, 2-2.
Yeah, it was.
Solid result that was.
As he said himself, he said he got a bit lucky in it. Because, basically, I think he got, well out-bashed, as you'd expect, versus an Orc team, versus this type of Elf team. But he's not a stupid player. He knows how to play Elves. He knows what type of Elf team he's got, and he's got an agility Elf team. He's not got one that can actually stand toe-to-toe with, even the hybrid type teams. He's going to be basically the most elfy team in there, put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I've just put key player, agility 5 ball carrier. What's called Scott. It's not strength up, but obviously agility 5 means he's going to be hard to tie down. He's obviously got blodge. He could develop into a seriously good player.
Right.
I really like that player. I really do.
Yep. My key player, True Blue.
True Blue, Madonna.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agi 5 Wrestle Elf. I'm guessing Tackle or Strip's going to come on it next.
Yeah, Tackle, then maybe Leap, maybe.
I go basically the Rackle route, Rackle Leap. Agi 5 as well, basically, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for a question for this guy, and I've just put live up to the hype. All I've heard about this guy is he's good. time to deliver. What I've seen of it,
if
seen
you
of
look at his
results.
history, the big one was, I think it was the game with Cav last year. And like Cav's obviously playing the Arrows, who like an established pro team, and he took them on in the shootout and basically got a draw from it 4-4.
Yeah.
And Cav's a good elf player, and that kind of shows. Okay, you can basically do the elf offs.
Yeah.
And you look at the other games and you go like, okay, he played Kiss Army's Max, isn't it? I think. Blue Max, yeah. So he beat Blue Max. He beat Panda. He beat Thingy. Beat one of the Goblins. Only lost 1-0 to Hitwagons, who I think's Fire Talker's chuffs.
It is, that is right, yeah.
And trust me, you look at his team and it's still intact. And you play Fire Talker, so it means he's not stupid with what he does.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's... all I've heard is good things about him, and this is a team I'm certainly looking to.
I talked to him a fair bit as well, and he's actually a nice guy.
Yeah, his record, his schedule, then he obviously had Diocletian Breach first week, was a tough one, but he got a good draw there 2-2. He plays Golden Discipline week 2. He then plays Madness, Mayhem, and Love, the MML Goblins in week 3. He then plays Dwarfageddon week 4. The Nocturnal
Been given an easy schedule, hasn't he?
the Nocturnal Beasts week 5. Hawkers, Welsh River Rats week 6, but I tell you what, if you live through all that, we'll give you the Goblobbers week 7. You're welcome.
I just like, basically, Ziddy, okay, Trip, okay, Bernie, first 4 weeks. It's like, good luck with your team, mate. I hope it looks as healthy after that.
Well, he got through the first game all right, and there's no claw he's got to worry about. Or maybe the Yeti.
I'll say something here, mate. Ziddy talks a great game about breaking teams. I don't really remember any teams he's broken.
Really? Oh, well, that's terrible. If Enoch's claiming he breaks teams and doesn't, well, that's like goblin talk.
He reminds me of the big fat guy in the pub who, oh, I did this, I did that, I did the other, and you actually see him fight and you're like, he's a bit crap, isn't he?
I'm sure, I don't know, I'm sure he has broken players. I'm sure he has, but he didn't break the Dark Elf one, so it doesn't look like he did. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm really excited to see how he goes. But yeah, he's got a tough start. But again, that's a good draw. That's a good draw to start with.
Yep.
But he does have Trip.
Trip in the comments. You don't break any. Trip. You don't break any players. You just kill them.
Yes. None of that.
It's like, did you break anybody? No, they just murdered. Just murdered. They're not broken. They're still in one piece, but they're dead.
Yeah. Next team then, Diocletian. Is it Breacher? Breaker? I don't bloody know. Breacher.
I actually thought this team was Welsh for about half a year.
Really?
It's say it in a Welsh accent, Diocletian Breacher.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So you're saying these are Welsh Hawks then? Welsh Hawks.
Yeah, because when you say it in German, Diocletian Breacher, it just sounds really intimidating. Diocletian Breacher in a Welsh type accent sounds fluffy.
I don't think. I mean, I don't know much about the German language, but I don't think it is. I've always liked the way they speak.
It's a language of romance, mate.
Yeah, it sounds like it, doesn't it?
And poetry.
Absolutely. But if I had this team, if this was my team, I would turn around to the MML and say, I'm going to do an Alma. I'm going to win this year. I'm going to win it. I'm going to win it.
What are you going to do an Alma? What say you're going to win all season and then flop? Yeah,
but I'm going to upgrade it. I'm going to say I'm going to win it, and I will win it. Unless I get the weather, then I won't win it. I could win with this team. I like to play in the underdog, but I would swap my Dwarfageddon in a heartbeat for this team. And I would be if I didn't make the playoffs with this team, I will have a smacked ass face all through the season, because this team, I'm not on about coaches here. This team should be making the playoffs. And you've got 7 games to make the playoffs for this team. This team is good enough. I mean, it is ridiculous. He's got a new troll. He's now strength 6 troll. He's got Louise, a great Black Hawk level, strength 5. He's got a Blodge Black Hawk. And
that Blitzer just strengthened up as well on his thing.
I mean, yes. It's just a ridiculous team. It's so OP. I mean, man, I would be so confident this was my team, I'll be honest. I mean, I am biased towards Orcs, but I'd be like, oh my god, if I don't do anything with this team, I'll cry. Trahar is like, here mate, have the ball, no one's getting the ball off you, because I'm just going to guard and protect you. And I'll be honest. I like to play it down, but when I see this team, I don't know what I put as the question mark in these Orcs. I put they need to win more. Then that's what I put. They need to start winning. This team should be winning. And every time I seem to see them play, I mean, I saw them play against you last season. That was a travesty where they didn't win that game. Apparently, he had a good game against the Dark Elves, and people said he should have won that one, and he didn't. So my question is, he's got to turn these draws into wins if he wants to make
Here's
the playoffs.
the thing, mate. How many games do you do that? You go, oh yeah, you should have won that one. And then you get the thing of, you were really unlucky 10 times in a row. Or do you make your own luck?
I don't know. I mean, last season, it was in a really tough division last season, and he got 1 win out of 7, and 3 of them were draws and 3 of them were losses. So
I think the 1 win was versus. Try to think actually. Las Pumas. I think it was Las Pumas.
It was against Las Pumas.
When he literally pit cleared Disco. Even Ziddy himself turned around and said he didn't enjoy the game because it was just that bad one-sidedness on the dice.
I mean, like,
I think literally everything broke.
I mean, I look at the 0-0 against Blood of Amber and say that's a good result, but then when because I saw the game, I'm like, that's not a good result.
Do you also
that
remember my
win.
kickoff, mate? Do you remember what I did on the opening kickoff?
Do you remember, mate? I can't. All I can remember about that game is I'm like, wow.
When I ran out of timeout, I forgot to move my ball carrier. He was like 2 squares away from the line of scrimmage, completely unprotected, a blockless line.
Was that like 10-1?
Yeah, that was the
I think I came in about 10-4, 10-5 when I was watching it.
Because literally the entire first half, I was trying to recover from just a brain dead moment, which kind of broke my team up a bit, and then meant he could boss her for the rest of the game. Yeah. I feel happy about the rematch, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, losing 1-0 to Pro, because that's not a bad result. He gave Rodantia a good go. He beat obviously the Pumas. He drew with the Pharaohs. I mean, he got an absolute spanking from the Silversons, but that sort of thing happens. He got a good go against Olympus Rising.
The Ram game. The Ram game was pretty much one of the biggest Dysons I've seen since the shaky one.
Really?
Oh yeah, he was hammering them, and then basically I think a couple of misclicks, and basically NTB did NTB stuff.
Well, if you misclick, that's on you. That you know. I played a guy in Rebel, and they said, "Oh, you only won because I misclicked." Yeah, I won because you made a mistake. That is on you. That's not on me. If you misclick, that's on you. If you lose because you misclick, yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's on you. You made that mistake, so you know.
To be honest, I kind of disagree. I think if I misclick, it's a genuine mistake and the guy got lucky. If my opponent misclicks, it's my skill forcing him into pressure and misclicking.
Yeah, I I presume everyone's misclipped at least once, and it is what it is. It's frustrating. But you know, when you start saying, "Well, I didn't win because of this and this and this," I always think it's a bit of a concern. I think you've just got to look at it. He's shown the potential there that he can play against the best. He's just got to turn some of them close losses and draws into wins. Because this team's good enough. It's good enough to make the playoffs. I said it last season when I fancied them, and I'll say it again this season. The team is good enough to make the playoffs, and it's up to ZJ to fulfill that dream. Like I said, looking at his schedule then. So he played the Mudhouse Saints first week. Got a draw. That's a solid start. He's got the Yobs week 2, what I expect him to crush. The Tigers week 3, I expect him to crush them. The Nocturnal Beasts, we don't know what's going to go on with them. Maybe they'll be draw. I don't know how they're going to do that. Week 5's an interesting one because basically he crushed Blood of Amber in last season, but then blew it in my opinion. And then he's got the Goblins week 6. He should crush them. The Goblobbers, and then he's got Trip week 7, and he should be able to outguard him. I look at this schedule and I'm saying this team should make the playoffs. No disrespect to anybody else, but this should be one of the 3 teams that make the playoffs.
For Ziddy last season, did you tip him to win his play pool?
No, I didn't. I think that was you I tipped.
Yeah, you tipped him for the 2nd spot.
I don't. Did I tip? I remember saying he was the dark horse.
Yes, you did.
I'm sure. I don't know.
I'm certain, mate. Yeah.
I think you're sabotaging me. I'm sure I said I think he'll do well. I don't think I'd have put him in the top 2. I surely didn't. But if I did, Let's just say you're right. I'm not. I'd have to go back and look at that. I really do. I'm not exactly sure. All I remember saying about this team is everybody will overlook this team because of the Almas and the Gardys and the Thunders in the thing. But I think this team's good enough to make the playoffs. If I said second, fair enough. But again, I will stand by this team. Give me this team, and I will clear. I'll do an Alma. I will say I'll win MML Pro. I might not, but I would be confident. I would be more confident with this team than Dwarfageddon if I was coaching it. That's just my say.
My prediction is I think he'll have a large amount of games that we look at the start of next season and go, oh, he nearly won that one. He got a draw and he should have won that one, and the record will be something similar.
I don't know. I feel like I'm back with Southie again. You know, when I always tip Southie. And if you're saying I tipped him last season, and I'm looking at these teams now, I'm looking at our schedule, I'm like, you know, my brain's saying there's no way this team doesn't make the 3. No matter what anyone else says to me, I'm just thinking this team, it'd feel like a travesty of justice if this team didn't get in the 3, you know.
But I'll point out that week 1 result, mate. That week 1 result was one that on paper you look and go, oh, he should smash the hell out of the Dark Elf team. I talked to Jamie and he said he got a bit lucky, blah blah blah, to get the draw. But isn't that the thing that we were saying about last season? Where a lot of he probably should have won that game, but he just didn't. And sometimes like maybe a certain coach has difficulty getting it over the line, if that makes sense. Yeah. So a drawn game turns into a loss. A game that he should win turns into a draw, and at the end of the season, you end up 5th or 6th in the play pool because you've dropped them so many points. Whereas the likes of the Girdley, okay, he should have won that game. What was the result? Oh, he won it. He should have drew that game. What was the result? Oh, he won it. It's the ones who turn the draws into wins and the wins and the losses into draws that basically get playoffs, not the ones that do it the other way around.
I know what you're saying. I mean, I saw the back end of that game against the Dark Elves, and it was like it failed something, and he burnt his last reroll, and I'm like, Zidju, why are you burning your last reroll? That you know, you needed that last reroll, and then I think the next turn, one of his first things he did, we got dub skulls or something unlucky, and he couldn't reroll it because he burnt a reroll, but he didn't need to. So my question is he playing the York where he ain't bothered about the result as much? He just wants to break stuff. You know, he just wants to break stuff. That's because.
Alex, stop it!
I don't know. I mean, he's obviously. I don't know. I just. Schedule says he gets to the playoffs, so.
Alex, stop it!
And Alex is in trouble.
Alex!
Tell him off.
I forgot to mute my mic. Stop it!
I was like, go on, tell him. What's he doing? He's doing something really bad. Is he setting the house on fire?
I didn't swear, mate. What are you bloody?
I thought maybe he was a Breccia fan and he was like.
No, he just discovered that the sliding door can smash into the back of the couch if you do it too far.
Ooh, that's not good. Yeah. So you're not convinced? You're not convinced these Oaks can make the playoffs then?
No, I'll guarantee he will not make the playoffs.
Oh God. But the schedule says he will.
I actually like it because most of what Ziddy says, it's bluff. It's basically fluff. Yeah, it's MML stuff. I've never seen him go out to break a team rather than get there and win. If he's got the win or breaking a team, he'll take the win.
Yeah.
But he'll say, I'd rather break the team. But he plays the game the right way.
I get it.
Yeah, he plays the game the right way. But I think the problem with him is he's too impulsive. Because you say about burning rerolls, I waste rerolls. So does Zid.
You do, yeah.
But Ziddy, I think, wastes rerolls because, damn, I wanted that in POW. I'll roll again.
Yeah. That's what he did with the.
I wanted this. Yeah. Whereas other people basically will waste rerolls because they don't value them because they're fluff.
Yeah. Right, next team then, you might know this team. Blood of Amber, Alma Forever. Team never has 11 players, and I still don't like number 7.
I have 11. I finished last season at 11.
Not on this page, you haven't. You've not got 11 players.
Yeah, because TV cap for the new season.
Yeah, grumble. What have I put for you? Let's have a look. Key player is number 7, Babaka, whatever we call it, the Blitzer. Obviously, strength 4. Babiker, ride your bike, Babiker. He's alright, isn't he? Strength 4, blood, show hands, sidestep. Not too keen on sidestep, but it is what it is.
Sidestep on a ball carrier, mate.
Yeah. I'm not a ball carrier sort of
in a team with this much frenzy, in a division with this much frenzy.
What else have we got?
Trip lumbering towards him with them Ulfs.
The question I've got here is Alma's year. Alma will claim it's his year again, and he's yet to deliver every season. Is this the season Alma will actually deliver and actually back it up? That's the question. You know, will you deliver? That's the thing. I mean, you know, we're talking about ZJ, obviously, about, you know, things tearing, like, you know, draws and twins and all that. Obviously, we talked off air. You know, you got to the game against Jess D. I felt you had a good chance, and then the Wizard. Man, the Wizard. I didn't even play the game. I'm still triggered by the Wizard. I mean, obviously, that to me turned on it. I think he then recovered second half and played really, really well. But people will say to be an ML champion, you can't afford mistakes like that in the playoffs.
Wait there, mate. Have you seen NTB?
But he has hot dice. He doesn't count, and he plays an OP race in Rats. You're playing a race what's never even won the MML. Even Gardley couldn't win the MML with Dark Elves, and he can win it with everything else. So you've got a really hard team to win it with.
How do you win it with Pro Elves and not with Dark Elves? It's just
You've got to be 100% on the money because you are Dark Elves, and they have a bad record.
Okay, one. Do I think I'm going to win it? Of course, I'm me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the team's the best I've had at the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I've had to cut and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can it stay healthy? If it doesn't, I'll have trouble. And I think I've got a pretty hard schedule. But it's basically got everything I wanted in my team. And then it's just basically what happens during the season.
I mean, you've got 4 strength 4 pieces. That is insane. You know, that is and you've got 2 guard as well. So obviously, Dark Elves are very maneuverable.
Look again.
Know. What? You got 4.
3 guard. 3 guard.
Oh, 3 guard. Sorry, 3. I thought you was about strength. I was like, I've maybe.
For some reason, my kicker's got guard, mate.
Why has your kicker got guard?
Because he won't guard after kick.
Oh, he deserves to die. Just give guard on a kicker.
Well, here's the thing, mate. Right, what piece is least likely to be based? Your kicker. So therefore, he's got to be mobile.
Oh, I always go after kickers on elf teams.
Yeah.
Don't like them. Don't like them at all.
A kicker with guard, it's like the carrot and the sugar cube getting dangled in front of the Bernie donkey.
No, it wouldn't though. It wouldn't, because I'd still just kill him, and I wouldn't admit. I just like, and I don't think when I've seen you play with that kicker, you're not really bothered about the kicker. You've got your loners and your kicker's right down there. You don't care about him. I'd have given him some like dirty player because hey, why not? Let's have a fouler. You like to foul? It's the way you play, man. Just get the boot in. Oh no, he's been sent off. Guess you're not getting my kicker this week. Well, you know, I don't know. I think the team's good. Obviously, you're a very, very good coach, one of the best in the MML. I think everyone would agree with that. Looking at your schedule though, let's have a look. Well, you absolutely annihilated the TAFE Tigers week 1-3-0. You play Los Pumas week 2, who may or may not have Smurfy Boy. Underground Souls week 3, that'll be a good game. You've then got them Killer Goblins week 4, who've already killed a troll. I bet you're scared of that one. Then you got the Deadly
terrified, mate, yeah.
The Deadly Die Occasion Breacher, the Welsh Orcs in week 5. You've got the Liverpool I Don't Break Nothing, Just Kill Stuff Golden Discipline in week 6. And then you're going to get tickled to death in week 7 by the lovely...
The Eastern European MML derby, me versus Trip.
Yeah. So that's not a bad schedule. You've got to be happy with that, I think. You know.
I avoided 1 or 2 coaches that I probably didn't want to play, one of them being you, purely because it's dwarfs versus elves and it's you.
I feel attacked. You know, I feel like you just wanted to play me. You know?
No, mate, no, because when I beat you, you'll just bust me every week and clown.
Yeah, that's it.
You bloody sod! You haven't chorfed this week.
Yeah.
2K chorfs, 2K chorfs, I'm busting my rats.
You'll be like next week. You'll be like, oh, thank God, Benny didn't give me the chorfs. I'll bring that skill in where I swap the teams around. There you go. Enjoy the chorfs. Only cost me 150k. You're welcome. not bitter at all.
If only there was a skill to destroy a team, like the opposite of new blood, old blood. I'm killing half his team. Blood sacrifices gutters.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But yeah, on schedule, I play all the Bashir teams. I think I play the best developed teams, if that makes sense. Like Southeast, the Trip and Underworld for Shaky. Weirdly, I think the last time I played Trip and Shaky, they both beat me, and I've never beaten Disco. He's beaten me 3 times in a row. So, kind of, and I didn't beat Ziddy when I played him either. I did beat South. So, on record, I've kind of got to do what I haven't done before, which is basically beat the coaches that have actually beaten me. So, well, we'll see.
That's always good, though. It's always good to have a challenge like that, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I'm planning to go 7-0, mate.
Well, yeah, why not? You know, it is what it is. But I think the team's got a good
I'm planning to do a serious just, but without choking in the final.
Ooh, shots fired there. Shots fired.
Jess knows I love him, mate.
NTB keeps saying that to him though as well. Poor Jesty. But Serious Jess is the only coach who will claim he's had bad dice all season when he's won all 7 games. So,
mate, Jess can actually have a dice log with no skulls and no 1s or 2s on it and go, I got diced! I got diced, I didn't win Fan Factor.
Yeah, well, Fan Factor is really important. The worst thing is when you win Fan Factor and then a rock still hits your play and you're like, hello, or pitch invasion and all your players are on the floor and it's like, hello, I won Fan Factor, where's my fans? You know, but it is what it is. But I think this team will be there or thereabouts again. They should be. Good coach, good team. The team looks very strong with all them positionals having strength ups and.
It's rule of 5, isn't it, mate?
It is. It's a good team, and I think I'm not saying it's an easy schedule, but I think that's the sort of schedule your quality should get through. But we'll see.
The team's kind of built to handle like the teams that normally push around elves as well because of the strength on it, while still having the speed advantage. But we'll see. It's a hard schedule.
Yeah. Right, the Nocturnal Beast then, the team Dragoon is scared of. I don't know if I've mentioned that already, but I'll mention again just in case. Well, it's an interesting one. Obviously, Die Panda and obviously Ziggy. Ziggy never made the playoffs in pros. Their season.
Benny, mate, is it alright if I just drop out for like 5 minutes?
Yeah,
because I need to change my son's nappy.
Terrible time, that.
He waited for Blood of Amber and then he was that excited, mate.
Yeah, I can believe that. Absolutely.
Either that or that's his opinion on my team.
Maybe he's like Dragoon. He's so scared of the beasts he had to go to the toilet. I don't know. It could be that.
No, he actually did it while watching his dad's team, mate.
That's not a good sound, mate. That's not a good sound.
No, it's a lucky poo.
If you want to call it that, you call it that. Right.
Okay. I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Alright, mate. Okay. Right, so the Beast then. Daipan Nakatsi. First season in the pros, made the playoffs. Amazing achievement. Zijay. We're still waiting for Zijay to hit the playoffs, but in the pros, it's going to be interesting to see which one of the two of them will finish higher up in the play pool. What I think is going to be interesting. I haven't really seen much of obviously the Nocturnal Beast, I'll be honest, but I do know obviously she's come on a lot from her first season and she did really well last season, gave Serious Jess a good fight in the playoffs. She's got 2 amazing wolves, and that's what I put as the key players. I couldn't split them because they're both the same. I think these 2 pieces are really deadly pieces. They've got the speed, they've got the mighty blow with the combination of claw. They can even pick the ball up as well. So yeah, really, really good. They've also got Ulrich the Hunter as well, mighty blow Pommer. So you look at that and it is good. The question mark I had over the Beasts was it's a big step up because last season a lot of the teams in that division were all like challenge teams. It was all brought up because of the lack of pro coaches. So without disrespecting them, it was like a more of a challenge league in a pro league where this season she's against a lot of the pro teams who have been there for a long time. So that's going to be tough, but saying that, she did really well last season. She made the playoffs and she proved you can go against the best. Got to give Serious Jess a good go, a really good go. And she did well. She beat the Tigers. She only just lost to the Saints. AFD got a draw there, beat the Goblobbers as well. Only lost 1-0 to Jesty. So there's certain good results in there as well. And I think the further along, she's got better and better as she's learned the game more and got more experience. The team's good. The team's solid. It's got base stand as well, so I can understand that with two frenzy wolves. What we got here? We've got... Right, so she plays, if I've got this right, the Underground Souls first up, and that's away. Then she's got the Reptilian People, that's Dragoons, Lizards. Then Welsh River Rat Hawker. Then Diocletian, obviously that's against Zijay. Don't know what's happening with that one yet. Then she's got the Mordal Saints, what's the Dark Elves, the Yobs, that's the Orcs, and then Los Pumas. So schedule-wise, there's definitely wins there. If she improves and things go away, what everybody needs, a bit of good fortune. It's hard. It's really hard for me to get a bearing on this because, although I've seen a lot of Zijay's games, I haven't seen many Dai Panda games, and when I did, I think it was in a fair season, so I'm not gonna base that on that because obviously she's certainly improved as she's played more games, or you'd understand. I think it's a well-built team. Like I said, the golems are pretty nice. Obviously, got Blodge, Stand Firm Golem there. The one's got block and guard, but solid. The whites are both good as well. A nice zombie with Dirty Play. Shame it's got guard as well, but you can't turn down guard on this sort of team. Guru's got a guard as well. Even the rate's pretty good. Fend Wrestle, that's a nice combination. Obviously, she's got the really good ghoul, and the ghoul's really important because if you've got a ghoul who can ball carry, that means the wolves can go hunting. Like I say, it's a nice build. I personally would have tried to find maybe show hands in there instead of sidestep, just because I think, against strip balling teams, and there's a few of them, that would have helped. But I think the team's nicely balanced, and some of the teams are going about, I think the TV's a bit high. I think this TV's about where it should be for this team. I think she's got the TV very well balanced at 18-20. There's a lot to like about this team. But it is a step up. I mean, people say, well, she was in pros last season. Yeah, she was, but I've explained why it's a step up. And like I said, looking at what she's got, Shaker's not going to be an easy game, and then the Dragoon and Hawker and obviously Zijay, but I think she's got a good chance of being up there. Definitely got a good chance of being up there. And like I say, if she's improving and all the time, and obviously if she can keep them wolves healthy, and the wolves don't let her down, she'll be fine. I think personally. Like I say, the base stand, I get that. That's not a bad thing to have as well. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, really. I mean, like I said, let's have a look. So 7-4-19 is obviously there, but last season 3-1-3. That's not bad, is it? She's got 3 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. So she almost got half of the wins in the Beast career last season. So that is good.
Right, and I'm back.
Okay. I've just basically gone through the Nocturnal Beast. I don't know if there's anything you want to add about them.
Just put them up again. I'm pretty... Yeah. It's standardish Necro team.
Yeah, I'll tell you what
the Wolves are nice. Both got MB, both got Claw, both got Dodge. Mm-hmm. I know it's a normal, no stat up team, and I think Necro kind of needs...
Well, the goal's got
yeah, but you kind of want one of them Wolves. You compare it, say, to Jesty's Wolves, and you're just like, Christ. It's a team that should do decent. It doesn't blow me away. It's got everything that a Necro team should have at this TV. Okay.
I'll ask you. I'll tell you 2 things. I'll tell you the schedule. She's got Underground Souls, Reptilian People, Welsh River Rats, Diocletian, Model Saints, the 8 Yobs, and Los Pumas. What do you think about that schedule?
Ooh, I think you want tackle on one of the werewolves.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a bad schedule.
It's not a bad schedule, but I think a lot of it depends on how she adjusts, because she did well in her first pro season. I think her first CL season wasn't that great for her, or her first couple, and then she went up to pro and she did quite well, but with the caveat, because I remember the previous show from last year as well, and we talked about it, it was quite an easy play pool as far as they weren't established pro teams, and some of them weren't established pro coaches.
Yeah, and that's what I said. That's my question. I did say.
And the ones she played, she kind of she gave them good games like Jesty, and I think Fox she played as well, and one of the other ones who were on established pro coaches, pro teams. She gave them good games, but she lost. And in this pool, she's got to play quite a lot of good, very good coaches, and it's just how her learning curve's going because she's improving all the time.
Yeah, I've got that down. She's improving a lot.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, mate. Like Ziddy will watch this or whatever, and he'll probably like in German to me. I actually thought she was going to be kind of like the whipping boy, the whipping girl, if you want to call it that, for the pool last year, and she really surprised me, and she did really well versus Jess. She gave him a good game.
Yeah.
She held him as close as I did by one touchdown. You know what I mean? So yeah, she did really well. And this is the step of, okay, the nerves have gone from the first season. Is she a settled pro player? Can she like battle it out with people? Or is she going to like relax a bit and that takes the edge off her? I think she'll do okay. I don't think she's got the worst schedule. I don't think she's got the easiest schedule she could have either. But she's definitely improved as a player, and it's if that improvement curve keeps going.
Yeah, I think you basically have said basically what I said. It's like, I think it's a step up because last season, obviously I did fancy that she'd do all right last season and obviously as soon as Ravang went out of the division, what was to me the best team in the division, it was all to play for, and credit to her, she obviously went and made the playoffs. But that, as I said in my question, this is a big step up. She's gone from, because most of them teams in that division were challenge teams.
From what I remember as well, mate, the last game of the last season, can you put the history up? Because I think it's versus the Goblin, and I think it was whoever won it got into the playoff spot.
Right.
And from what I remember, she literally had the game won by half time. I think it was Girth basically like soft conceded because his team was wrecked. Yeah. So when she had to win it, she won it. She gave Jessie a good game. Yeah. It's how she starts the season because she needs to start the season well. I think she's got Shaky first week.
That's gonna be
if she gets a result versus Shaky, okay, it'd be her a rival in the MML if that makes sense. If she starts the season beating him.
I will ask you this: who finishes higher, Dai Panda or Ziggy?
Oof.
Don't you sit on the fence?
I actually think Panda will.
You think Panda will?
Yeah, I think she's actually got a bit better of a schedule, and I think she maybe prioritises the winning over the story, if that makes sense a little bit more. Not saying she's just like just after the win, but I actually think she'll actually finish higher.
Well, Dragoon thinks Panda will finish above Zidje. Well, I'm going to go with Zidje. I'm basically, I feel like I'm playing poker. Here's my chips. I'm putting them all in, and I'm either going to look like a genius or an idiot by the end of the season. Everyone seems to be on the Zidje won't do this, Zidje won't do that thing, and I seem to be waving the flag like I usually do for South each season.
I also think she's got the thing here as well of she's got the regen, so if she has one of them games where everything just goes wrong, she's got the same for the next week.
Yeah, I think she's got a good chance, and if she improves like she has been doing, she could finish above Zidje, and I'm sure Zidje would be very happy if she does. If he can't. I
only actually saw 2 of the games last year, and one was the Goblin game, and basically speaking, like I normally do, I start watching people who might get in playoffs, and the other one was the game versus Jest. The game versus Jest, I was actually really surprised because like on paper, Jest should have blew the team away. His team was far superior. But for 7-8 turns, it literally was like right in the balance, the game. And Jest's a very well proven coach and a very, very good team, and he's been in the playoffs a large amount of times. Although strangely never won a title.
Well, you have to ask him why that was the case. Like I say, I've got the Beast who could have a good season. It's one of those 50-50s to me. They could have a good season, they can. I think the schedule is not the worst, but certainly not the best. But it's in the middle. And I think the Beasts could be around the middle by the end of the season. I don't know. I think ZJ will have a better season. Oh God, please ZJ, don't let me down.
Yeah, I also think Pandas, like a lot of the newer coaches that have, first season, second season, they kind of not carrying the baggage of like fucking 3, 4, 5 different playoff appearances, never winning it and stuff like that, or consistently in the race of the playoffs. She was in the race of the playoffs last year. She got there, but she's not carrying the baggage of everyone expects her to do it. Whereas, like, no offense, people are going to be surprised. My son is a lunatic. Yeah, if you don't get the playoffs, people are going to go, wow, Bernie didn't make the playoffs. Possibly the same with like the likes of myself, maybe Jest, people like that. Shaky, because, okay, playoffs come around, you expect to see them names. She's not in that category, so therefore she's got no pressure on her. She can just go out and play. And that kind of sometimes makes people a dangerous player.
I get that, but I think personally it just the way you handle it. I look into when I play. If people say I'm going to make it, that's fine. Or if they say I can't, that's fine. Also, I just worry about what I can control, and that's basically why I get so salty over the weather, because that is something I can't control. Some smart ass said to me, "Get the Magic Dome." I got the Magic Dome in my Rebel team, my Chaos Rebel team, and guess what? Sweltering heat. But I was away. I was playing away and got most of my team on there.
You're going to say pitch invasion.
And that's the other one. I mean, we saw it last season. I needed to beat the net. I mean, last season was a bit of a mare for me because, like, I quad schooled in the first game. What I lost, I GFI'd and failed everything. It was just one of those games where you think I played really well, but the quad school sunk me. And then I was like, you know what? I need to be in the top 4. We don't need to win every game. I've got a plan. Get in that top 4, no problem. We'll win the playoff. Well, that's the way we're going to do it. And then late in the season, I get. It's actually top 2. I'm like, nah, it's not top 2. If it was top 2, they would have told everybody they're changing it. Now, Bernie, it's top. No, it can't be. It can't be. It is. And then, all of a sudden, I need to win 3 on the bounce. And that one of them was against Hawk, and I actually did then go, crikey, I've got to win. And I did win them, and I had to play that Nagel kill team. I was like...
Right, all I can think of is a dwarf coach going, oh, I've got to win. Oh.
But I can't.
A draw's not enough. A draw's not enough.
And then I got against the Nagel, and obviously as I was claw on that, and I'm like, no way you scoring against me. I'm making sure you don't score. Kick off, 8 players stunned on pitch invasion. He injures another one, and I'm like, right, it's that sort of game then. And, kickoffs is what I fear. I don't fear any coach. I never have. I've never feared any coach. I respect coaches, but I can tell you now, the thing I fear the most is kickoff events. I'm like, please no change of weather, no pitch invasion, no sweltering heat, no rain. Although rain these days ain't bad to sweltering heat, what I keep getting. And that is the thing I worry about the most. It's the only thing I fear in Blood Bowl. I fear that more than anything. You can give me 11 Chaos Claw pieces, and I would not fear them more than sweltering heat. My best player, I think, key player would have to be Flaming Inferno Pete, because he's an enforcer, he does a bit of everything. But what do you think of the team? I mean, it's my team. I don't like talking about my team.
If you showed me the team and said which coach's team is this, I could probably guess amongst 1 or 2 coaches whose team it was. Because you've got the guard, you've got the MB, you've got a couple of pylon pieces, you've got the what's it called? Wait, I've got a son who nearly pulled my headset off. You've got like the jump up pylon killer, or should we call them an enforcer? You got a leader as well? I think you have, haven't you?
Very rare I have that, by the way. Very, very rare you'll see me take leader.
Yeah, I know you normally hate it, especially in a playoff format. It's a Bernie team. The big weaknesses are, basically you've got nothing on your blitzers, really.
No,
the blitzers are just bog standard. I'm pretty sure you'd want like a little bit more utility there. You'd want like a bit more guard or a bit more MB. I'm pretty sure. Yes. Why? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'd like a bit of dive and tackle and stuff like that in there, and I'm pretty sure you'd like at least one AG4 or a little bit of strength up in there, or a bit of movement or something, just to give you a little bit more of what the dwarves lack. But it's a team I'm quite happy I'm not playing.
I mean, the only thing, it's frustrating because the cowboy, number 15, he's been on 5 XP for so many times. Atom Bomb Ron, well, I sometimes I just wish someone would kill him. He's on 5. My man Blitzers just haven't done nothing all season. Rage Fist Rand, I love the name Rage Fist Rand. He's out first game. What's a shame? I do like him. But yeah, the runners do a good job for me. But I'd love to have an agility or a strength up, just a stat up.
Looking at this team, what I think of is, and you're gonna hate me for it. Okay, you get a really a raining game.
A what game?
A game where it rains.
Oh, don't
Right.
start saying stuff like that.
Yeah, you're buggered. You get a blitz against you, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
You get a pitch invasion which knocks down like 4 or 5 of your players, you're in big trouble. You haven't got like that, like a little bit of agility or movement or just like it's just lacking. Well, it's a 1620 dwarf team. It's not a 1900 dwarf team.
Yeah.
And that's basically all you're missing. If nothing like that happens, and you can just play the positional game and boom, 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 and you're not diced, you're not going to be very easy to beat it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm perfectly happy I'm playing at week 13. Put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, the only loss they got was to like a 2000 human kill. Well, that human kill team, and like it was quad skulls what sunk me in that game. What was what was unfortunate, but them sort of games happen. But like I said, this is, I mean, my new signing's Ulrin. I didn't really want piling on. I don't like having pylon on dwarfs unless it's troll slayers. But there wasn't much to go, and I didn't have much cash because I've got 0 cash. So
how many have you got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 beards, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, 12 for that TV. Actually, your TV's a bit higher, and it's 1730 when they're older. Because you're missing the troll slayer.
I am.
It's a very solid dwarf team. You haven't got stupid picks in there. You haven't got anything that makes you a little bit like wonder why you've picked it. Yeah, your runners are basically skilled up. I just got a horrible feeling that I don't know if you play. I don't think you play Zidzi, do you? But versus the high strength teams, you might not have enough guard, if that makes sense.
No, that is what. Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm thinking of Chip's team. Like, Chip's got the 2 wolves. He's got the Mino. He's got 2 strength up thingies. I think 1 Zerk and 1 thingy.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about Chip's team.
Even my team, mate. My team's got 3 delves with thingy with block. Well, not block, but my son's irritate me now. 3 guard and 4 strength up. I'm like, you're gonna have a hard job getting like 2 dice on the blitzers if I don't want you to.
Yeah, I'll read the schedule. I'll read the schedule out because I read the schedule out yet. So we've got Welsh River Rats first week. I'm not happy about that. I've got them killer goblins who killed the troll in week 2. Glowworms, goblins, what we haven't seen yet. Week 3, I've got the Goblobbers. Then I've got the Mordhouse Saints. Then I've got Tafe Tigers, Lost Pumas, and Reptilian People Dragoons team to finish me off. Schedule. It's a good schedule.
Okay.
I can't.
What I'd say is you can go 7-0 in that schedule, but you can also go like 2 wins, 5 draws in that schedule as well.
The thing is, people don't understand with dwarfs, and this is, it really annoys me when people say dwarfs are easy mode because they're so not easy mode. I mean, anything with claw is a big danger here, and I've got like 5 guard there, but I'm only strength 3, so it's more helpful for hitting than defending, protecting your players.
But the thing about it is, I'd look at it and go, okay, you play Hawker, your team should destroy Hawker's team, but Hawker will have a wizard. Okay, he will get a defensive score versus you, almost certainly, and he'll score on his drive. Almost certainly. So you've got to score 2 to get a draw.
Exactly.
Which basically means kind of got to. It's why I hate the. It's not just the MML thing about like, oh, it's a kill team and stuff like that. But if you're playing dwarves, you've got to remove the numbers. Otherwise, you say your opponent's got a wizard, you don't remove numbers, you're losing the game. You can't win the game.
The thing is, it's like you just don't have the speed. You've got 2 runners while moving 6, and that's it. I mean, your troll slayers and your blitzers, they move far, but like you said, there's a lot of things what can mess with dwarves. I mean, dwarves are what they are. They're just a grindy team, and as soon as you lose players on a dwarf team, gaps start to appear.
I played dwarfs in Cladder for I got like qualifying position for the season that playoffs just started, and deleted my team after I think it was 2 games, because literally everything that could go wrong went wrong, and my team was destroyed, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's going to be interesting. Week 1, I'm not looking forward to. Well, I'm not looking forward to week 1 at all because of the speed. But. I like Sam. I'm confident as I can be.
Week one, mate. That's the problem with playing Hawker. I think you'd much rather be playing Hawker on a 2K Delph team, because you're looking at it and you go, how can you not beat that rat team? It's basically a fresh out of the box rat team. But then it's Hawker with how much? Say 400. 5 actually, maybe.
He's going to be able to get some good stuff in a wizard. So.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get a wizard. He's going to be able to get Galoth or Big Rat or something like that. And you've not got a bench. So that Claw Ogre removes, say, a couple of Longbeards, and then it happens early and Hawker can start fouling. You basically, as soon as you can start fouling, you can't pile on as much, blah, 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 and it can basically snowball really quickly.
Yeah. I mean, ironically, I think the only... this team looks like crap. I think the coach is new too. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of draws last season.
Mate.
A lot of draws last season.
Just like to say thank you to Fire Talker for putting my Cladder game off for half an hour so I can finish.
Oh, good lad. I should have known. You said you had a buy in your sea ladder. Now I know. I was like, I can't believe.
Don't say that, mate.
I can't believe you said that about coach. But now you've told me it's Fire Talker. Then of course I understand.
Fire Talker on rats. He's pretty new.
He's a good. Yeah, I love Fire Talker. He's a good coach.
He's even had to rely on a 110, I think.
I was gonna say one of those players. But no, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of pressure on the dwarves because obviously everyone will expect on paper. Even Blue said Bernie will win the East. I'm a bit worried that he thinks I'm going to win this. All I'm going to say is dwarfs do draw a lot more than they win. That's all I'm going to say, because it just, and the thing is with dwarfs is, if people make positional errors, I can punish them all the time. The problem is I can't punish it if I'm only moving 4 squares. That's the problem. So we'll see. But anyway, that's Dwarfageddon. We're now on to 2 teams left. Reptilian People. So this is the team what's scared of the Necro. Just in case I've not actually mentioned anybody yet, that Dragoon is scared of Panda. Very impressed to a certain extent in week 1. There was a few little things.
Can I just say, Fire Talker, thank you for tipping Bernie, because I'm well aware you. No, did you see Fire Talker tipped Zerpolis in the Cladder playoffs? Yeah. And he got beaten 3-0.
I fear nothing. All I will say is this, Fire Talker. I've still got to do the pre-cap for the West yet. And I do believe you're in the West. So. Well,
I think Fire Talker's playing what is it called, Bash Kill Bash or something?
Well, that's the West for you, mate. That's the West for you. Wow, West, isn't it? Anyway, back to Dragoon. I thought he did all right. I think his tackle piece had a great game. He actually leveled up Soros on a handoff, what I thought was very smart. He's got another mighty blow. That's 3 mighty blow now. God, all these teams trying to get the kill build. Disgraceful. I don't mind it, to be fair. I tell you, the thing I really hate about this team, and I really, really hate it, is that he didn't name his team. He didn't name his players. Who has a team what doesn't name his players? Come on, man, you've got to name your players.
I don't know, mate. Most of my team, most games is like computer generated names.
Yeah, because
with,
they're loners.
That little asterisk.
They're bloody loners most of the time. But I was like, oh, come on, man, name your players. In the MML, everybody should name the players.
In his defence and all, I think he's actually quite young, and I actually think he's also quite new to the game from what we were talking about before. So maybe he kind of didn't realise, because I think it was like literally oh, I've got like a week to get my team done, blah, bing, 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 bing. And
yeah, but you say that, right? You say that, but he's got a Saurus called Max. Now, I'm absolutely certain that is a made-up name. And Max is his best player. So if it had named all of his other players cool names, they would be, like, undefeated.
Was Max a transfer from
Oh,
Bears?
that's a good point. That is a very good point.
I'm
Was
pretty
Max
sure
a transfer? That
from
could be...
Bezo or Beers?
No, not Bezo
I'm pretty
again.
sure.
Bears
It was either
again.
Bezo or Beers. I
Bears has some
remember
good
seeing
quality
something
stuff.
about it.
Yeah, some good
Yeah.
quality stuff.
I'm almost certain there is, because I remember him going on about, like, in the chat about,
Yeah.
like, thanking either Bears or Beers. I think it
That
might have
would
been
make
Beers,
sense
actually.
now.
Yep. Hence why the name.
Good spot, on a good spot. I think, obviously, since he's quite a new coach and he's improving, Bearzo, typical. But he's
One sec,
improving.
mate.
Yeah, you do that. He's improving. And like I say, I'm good friends with Dragoon, and obviously I'll be cheering him on every single game apart from the last game. Fight Toga. Yeah, it's a nice team. Obviously, he's got this guy. What did I put in the my notes? Key player is Cute. I quite like that name, to be fair. And my question
Sorry
is,
about that, mate, I'm back.
It's Cute was his key player, and I just put as a question mark. Level up the Saurus. If he can level up his Saurus like he did in the first week, then this could be a nice, nice season for him. I'll run down who he's got to play. So he got the Goblobbers week 1, won that 2-0.
Huge one for this is how much claw he faces.
Well, I'm going to tell you now. So he's got the Goblobbers, he's beat them. He's got the Nocturnal Beast who have 2 Mighty Claw Wolves in week 2. He's got Golden Discipline.
But they haven't got the strength to actually get the 2 dies easy.
Yeah, they haven't, but you know.
If he keeps the Saurus together, they should be alright. If he starts letting them get strung out and letting Panda basically pick them off, then he could be in real trouble.
So he's beat the Goblobbers. He's got Nocturnal Beast week 2. He's got Golden Discipline week 3, so they could make a mess of his skinks, and they do have the Yeti with Claw. Week 4, Tafe Tigers have 3 Claw. Underground Souls week 5, they have 2 Claw. MML Madness, Mayhem and Love, they're Goblins, so they're going to kick the crap out of him. And then, luckily for him, he's got a nice, easy cuddle team in week 7 in Dwarfageddon who have no Claw at all. So at least he knows they are.
But by that week, mate, he might have no Saurus left, so you might be like, oh, MB versus all the skinks.
Hello, Skinky, come and give me a cuddle. My cuddle bombers will give you lots of love, week 7. So yeah, Claw-wise, as you said, but if you're looking at it on Claw, it's not a good schedule, but I think he's good enough to give the Beasts a game. I mean, the way he broke AV7 in week 1, he could do that against Golden Discipline. I think he could do over the Tigers. I'm confident he can beat the Tigers. Underground Souls would be a tricky one. But I think he could beat Glowworm's Goblins, as he's proven in week 1. And then Dwarfageddon, well, we don't know what's going to happen there.
Although you say that about the trip game, mate, I think the trip game's a real nightmare for him.
It can be, but if his dice go like they did in week 1, they could break him.
I've seen Trip play versus like teams that out-strengthen, and you got to think about it. Like Trip, he's got 4 strength 4 and 1 strength 5 as well. So while you go, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he could, but I'm not saying he's going to beat him, but I don't think Dragoon should be that worried. And like I'm saying, I'm on about the AV7. If the AV7 doesn't hold up for the Norse, you know, and if Max does what he did in week 1, Trip won't even have a team left. I mean, that Max was just going around going, block, pow, injure, block, pow, injure, oh, I'm going to injure you. But it's gonna. Even Dragoon saying Trip isn't that scary. He's not even scared of him. He's not even scared of Trip. So that's always a good thing.
Dragoon, I think we'll speak after that Trip game, mate. I've seen Trip play. You know, like the ML's got some like coaches that kind of people know are like more killy than others, like Sobrezov and people like that. And I've seen Trip absolutely destroy their teams. Why? Because he just positions well. And it doesn't matter if the guy's got all this MB and Claw, if the guy's rolling red dice or 1 dice and Trip's getting 2 dice with Frenzy. He'll basically break them, because like these are the type of teams that Trip will be throwing 60 odd blocks first.
It'd be interesting to see. You've got Dragoon, who's obviously quite a young learning his trade.
Yeah.
And then you've got Trip, who's been playing for years.
To be honest, mate, like I don't know Dragoon that well. I've just seen him in chat. He seems a nice kid and stuff like that. And what he wants to look at this season is when he plays the likes of the trips. I think he's got to play you as well, learn from it, because yeah, fair enough, you might win the games, but if you don't, just think about why. Because you're both good players and you can learn a hell of a lot off actually doing it.
Yeah,
and that'd be the same for all of the coaches, even the older coaches can do it.
Yeah, I think he's improved a lot in MML Blitz. I think MML Blitz is a complete crazy sort of league, but I think that's really helped him, and he's improved in that. And I think that'll put him in good stead for this season. Like I said, he got a good result week 1. I think he'll do all right. I think he'll surprise a few people. And like you said about Panda, I think this guy, he'll go way under the radar. Obviously, everyone will be going obviously, Alma says he's going to win again. There's Berry in there with a good schedule. There's Tripp in there who claims to be number 1. There's Shaky who could have got to a final if he didn't get the West Icing ever. So he's going to be able to just play his game, just learn and try and do as much as you can, and just see where you are at the end of the season.
Well, as Shaky said in the chat there, never underestimate Tripp.
Oh, no one will ever underestimate Tripp. I'm just saying, if
I always do, mate. I'm going to destroy Tripp's team. Damn, he beat me.
Yeah. I didn't say that, you did. What you want about now? Never underestimate Tripp. If you want about number 1, you said he was number 1. He was in chat. I don't know. I think
Tripp's the only person who can say I'm better than number 1.
Yeah, what do you mean, Slander? You said it, Tripper. It's in this stream. Go back and see it. Shaky Dog, yes, sorry, mate. It scared me almost as much as you that did. I streamed that game and I was like, man, this is trauma. But I'm trying to use it as a positive.
Shaky, I was trying to get Bernie to re-record the stream for that game with the soundtrack "One Is the Loneliest Number" playing over it.
There you go, you see. Harsh man is Alma, harsh man. My Crocs wants that wolf.
I felt slightly diced in my serious Jet game. And then I watched Shaky's and I was just like, I wasn't diced at all. It was bloody perfect. Jesus, mate.
Me and Jesse, obviously we streamed both the games. We streamed that game in the Blitz final, and obviously we was all really hyped about the Blitz final, we was all in the laugh and all that stuff. And then in the game between NCB and Shaky, the more it went on, we just couldn't. We were just devastated. We couldn't believe what we were seeing. We couldn't even. Me and Jess have this really good rapport, and we'll make fun and everything. And both of us was just so depressed. It was like, oh my god, what is Shaky thinking right now? We was like, what can you say?
I think part of it, mate, is like, one, Shaky. Well, first of all, like, I know he's in chat, so I'm not like trying to like butter him up and all that. Shaky's a really nice guy. Like that, win, lose or draw, you don't play Underworld and you can't play Underworld and be a bit of a dick, if that makes sense. You've got to be like, oh, hey, with it. Yeah. And he had a really great season.
He did.
And like, it was just like, God, your season's going to end that way, and I felt really bad for him because, like, I've had that in like Cladder playoffs and stuff.
I think a lot of us have had that, haven't we? I think when you look at it, yeah, with all of that, I mean, I like that. You were devastated, yeah. I can imagine you was a lot more devastated than I was, but yeah, it was one of those games where I really felt bad, but it is what it is. Anyway,
to be honest, Shaky, I was so devastated. It was like, oh god, I'm devastated for Shaky. Wonder what's for tea tonight.
Yeah,
it didn't really last with me.
Man. Yeah, but regarding this team, then, so like I said, they're going to play up against a lot of clubs, so the trip game is going to be interesting. That's going to be an interesting. I think we've added a bit of spice there on that one now. Obviously, Dragoon scared of Panda, but he's not scared of Trip. So I'm interested to see how that pans out.
All I can say, mate, is you can kind of tell he's not been in the MML that long from that statement.
Yeah, I like it. The youth, no fear. No fear. Yeah, but the thing is, right, you can look at it both ways. If he beats Trip, he'll say, told you so, and he'll feel great. If he gets beat by Trip, well, it's just a harsh lesson, isn't it? It's
one of them. You come back, try to beat him next time. With this team, for me,
it's a nice team, I think so. I like it.
Look at it in about 4 weeks' time and see what it looks like. Yeah. Because he's got like 3 Saurus, which, if they all level, yeah. Well, he's actually got like 3 on the way to the 2nd level and 1 on the way to the 3rd level, either Bloodshawn. If that levels up, then it can be really interesting.
Have you seen that Dragoon said, you know nothing, Alma Snow? Oh dear.
Yeah, Dragoon. You always say that you're not playing me.
Tripper says it's more likely to lose to versus Dragoon than against Alma. So he's saying he's got a better chance against you apparently.
Really, Trip?
Yeah, so he's always saying. He's deluded,
Trip,
isn't he? Deluded.
Trip, how's your replacement Yetis are the one I killed, doing?
Oh, this is
And did you keep the move plus guy, or you cut him, didn't you?
Oh, it's a fun season.
Loyalty.
Right, okay, last team then, we're finally there. MML, Madness, Mayhem, and Love. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this guy came out in the pro chat or our own chat and said, look, I'm going to foul, it's nothing personal, I'm going to basically just do what goblins do. So he's already sent the gauntlet out. I thought he had a good game against the Orcs. He got a good, solid, was it 2-2? He was very happy he killed the troll, apparently. So yeah, pretty good day at the office.
I think the entire league was quite happy he killed that troll, to be honest.
I wasn't.
I had the troll party.
I wasn't happy. That's Southie. Southie doesn't harm anything. He proved he didn't harm any of this team.
Yeah, well, to be honest, mate, yeah, you weren't happy. I remember we talked straight afterwards, and you were like, "I wanted to kill that troll. I wanted to."
Why would I say that? I don't even get to play him. But mate, I felt sorry for Southie.
How come your Twitter hashtag is Bernie the Killer?
Nah, that's just the way I roll, mate. That's just the way I roll. Anyway, I'm not saying I'm not a killer. I'm saying he said he's going to be a killer. He's going to foul a lot. Thing is, though, being serious for a moment here, it was a good result for Glowworm. I mean, I think he did say he was one win off, he was one game off making the playoffs last season with Goblins. That is a great effort.
I think he lost to Panda, didn't he, in the decider?
No, I think wasn't that Gareth.
Possibly.
Why don't I not have a history for this team? Did he have to remake them? I've got
weird.
A team with one gaming or less. I don't know. Did he come with a brand new team or 1440 maybe? Maybe that's what he did. Maybe this is a brand new team. But it can't be though because
look at the trolls.
I don't know what's happened then. I don't know. Someone will have to answer that. I don't know. It can't. No, it must be an error, surely, because remade team remade team naming issues. Right, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, MML thing, innit?
Is it right? Okay, well that's fine. It just blew my head then because I was like, oh, let's see what he did last season because he had such a good season. And now I can't. So
you look last season. He did nothing.
Yeah,
he did nothing last season.
He was undefeated last season. So that's impressive.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like I said, I watched that game because I obviously play Glowworm in week 2, so I was interested to get a bit of a scouting report on it. I thought Glowworm was his own worst enemy. Like putting a fanatic spinning into the ball, for instance, was
sometimes you can with the stunty coaches and all that. They can get into the mentality going into the game, going, well, probably not going to win it, so I'll cause havoc. And then when the game actually becomes one that they can win, they kind of take a bit of time to adjust to that. So they keep doing the moves that they normally would do when they're losing, without actually thinking about, wait, then I'm winning.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I think Glowworm obviously to my knowledge, he plays Goblins a lot on tabletop. He's obviously a very good coach. He's well respected in the Blood Bowl industry, especially on the tabletop circuit. I do honestly believe he goes into the game confident that he can get a result. Like I said, I thought a few little things didn't go his way, and if they did, he would have won that game. Like I say, he knows how to use inducements well. He's got 2 decent trolls. He obviously gets Ripper usually as well. I think this will do better than the other Goblin team. I think that's a given. I think. Looking at the schedule though, what did I put as schedule? Let's have a look. Well, I thought his key play was Gethbane. I thought Apogo is always very important with with Goblins. And my question was dirty tactics. He said he's going to come out and foul. To be honest, that's what I expect a Goblin team to do. So I think his fouling, if it comes off could be the difference between wins and losses, I think. His schedule then is the 80 Obs. He's played them already. It was 1-1. I thought it was 2-2 for some reason. Then he plays Dwarfageddon. That's next week. He then plays Mordhau.
Easy 3 points.
Oh, easy for him. Easy. Mordhau Saints in week 3. Blood of Amber week 4. Golden Discipline week 5. Reptilian People week 6. And then the Underground Souls week 7. That is a really, really hard schedule.
I think both Goblin coaches have got really hard schedules, actually.
I think both Goblin teams have been really let down by whoever randomly scheduled this. Yeah, not good, is it, for them? What can you say, really? It sucks. But like I said, the Goblins are Goblins. If they have Glow and Hawker, will just kill each other. I just don't. I don't know. I think with Goblins is if they have a good day, they could beat anybody. And I think the pressure is always on the opponent, because in all them other games he's playing, everyone will be saying, "Oh well, Dwarfageddon should just win. Mordhau Saint should win. Blood of Amber should win. Trips, Golden Discipline should win." And that's the pressure on us to perform. And we all know, we're all experienced enough to know, if he gets some removals or his Goblins do well, and obviously he's a good coach, so he will punish us for doing anything wrong, then this could definitely be a banana skin for quite a lot of us, I think.
I think the biggest problem is you've got to play both elves.
Yeah, I think elves are a problem.
The problem with elves is you can remove 5-6 players. Okay, I'm an elf. I'm used to playing 4 or 5, 6 players down. Yeah. If he does the same versus the dwarf team or an orc team, yeah, because he's then suddenly got the speed and the mobility. Versus the elves, he's never got the speed and the mobility, and he's never got the strength. So therefore, he's always kind of like punching
lizards
uphill.
as well. I think lizards. I mean, Dragoon can protect his skinks with obviously Saurus, who are all strength 4 and strength 5 crocs. So
Yeah, basically.
So it's always tough. I mean, like with dwarfs, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, they've got the might blow tackle, what can make horrendous, mincemeat out of goblins, but at the same point,
the game can be over by turn 4.
Yeah, but if you can remove some dwarfs, if you can remove enough dwarfs, and they are slow, so you can get around them, and that, So
to be honest, mate, the ball and chain is terrifying against dwarfs.
It is. He'll probably have 2 of them. And
his long beard's like, he's faster than us, we can't run away.
It's like, what do we do? I mean, like I said, for instance, this guy, I mean, I don't have a problem red dying a fanatic. Not a problem, but this one has block. So all of a sudden you're like, do I really want to? I mean, I really need to roll a power.
What's Dauntless first there?
Dauntless, wait, it's 7, it's a 4+.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a 50-50 if it works or not.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But I'll be honest.
Dauntless plus a reroll, yeah, probably worth it.
I mean, I'd probably try and hit him with Rage Fist Rand. I wouldn't dare try and hit him with my better Troll Slayer, because it's a 50-50. And if I fail, chances are it could be red 3 die or red 2 die, depending on what I've got there. But
what stadium has he got?
He has the Nuffle Altar. But he's playing away. He's playing away.
Otherwise, I'd probably suggest go for the bomber and just fucking throw a bomb near the fanatic. They can't even catch it to throw it back. If it knocks him over, he's bye-bye.
Well, that's it. I mean, like I said, I've got no cash, but I play Glowworm week 2, and obviously I've got the Knuffles Altar as well, so the bomber would cost me 10k.
Yeah.
So we could have a bomb off. So,
that's what I'm saying, because like Jesus Christ, it's a 10k piece to remove a 100k one that can remove a hell of a lot more than that.
I don't know. I just think bombers are fun. Yeah. I always think they're fun, so
It's a 10k fouling piece for dwarfs usually.
Sometimes I just get him, especially against claw teams. I'll just put him on the LOS. I'll buy both the 10k pieces, put them on the LOS, even if it's like turn 8. If I have had the first drive and say kill him, I don't care. They're my players.
Fire. Did they need a double for the thing you got for Mighty Blow?
Double for what? For the what player went about? The Bombardier? Oh, the Fanatic.
Bombardier.
No, Fanatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hail Mary's on about, is he? Hail Mary's really good on a Bombardier. But again, like I said, I think this team will surprise them. I think he's got a really tough schedule. I I'm not looking forward to playing them because I know what goblins can do to little fat dwarfs.
It's goblins, mate. You can be made up after you play them because I don't know, more as an elf coach, you can go, yeah, I put like 5-6 touchdowns past them, and then you can be like, I killed the 2 best players.
Exactly, and that's the thing what people forget. It's like, I mean, it's not just about winning. It's about you could win a game but feel like you've lost because you've lost your best players. Because goblins will bring everything. They don't care. They'll foul. They'll use the weapons. They'll use the chainsaws. They'll use everything in their arsenal to get it done.
Other advantage he's got 13 players already. I think Gert's on 10, possibly. Yeah. So he's got them 3 players. He's got cash. He's basically going to be running.
Right. Okay.
Probably 14, I'm guessing. I save space for 2 thingies. Yeah. 2 star players.
But it'll be
So it's a lot of blocks to get through to the bench, you know what I mean? And if he's got the bribes, blah blah blah.
So he'll get more players. I mean, he'll probably take Adam Morgoy. He'll get Ripper, one of them 2. I think one of them 2 will always be a staple in this team. I like Ripper personally, but that's just me.
The problem with dwarves as well is you can't just do what the elf or the rats would do, which is okay, I'll just score them 2 turns. I'll score them 2 turns. Use 2 of your bribes to keep your players on. By half time, you've got none of your thingy bombardiers or your fanatics or your thingies left, or your balls, loonies and stuff like that. They're all gone off the pitch.
Yeah, I played. I don't play against goblins much these days, but I played in the farm against Stemjald's goblins with my brand new wood elves, and I won like 6-0. It was so much fun because I was just going, woohoo, you can't catch me, off I go. Scored. That's your secret weapons off the pitch. Scored again. You've got no secret weapons left.
I did the same in my rebel game a couple of seasons ago when I played the goblin coach, and I think I won 6 or 7-0.
And it's so good when you've got that speed, but when you're little movement 4 things, it's like I've just got to plod down and hope I get it done. And if you're getting bombs lobbed at you and all that, it's a bloody nightmare. But it's interesting. Goblins, like I said, they're fun. They can be frustrating because you don't think you're going to win. Then they give you the little snippy thing. Oh, I might get something from here, and then they'll let you down again. But he's proven that obviously he was 1 game away from getting to the playoffs, so he knows what he's doing, and he does have a lot of success with them. So it will be interesting to see how he does. Like I said, he got a good result.
I think he actually had a good result first. Somebody that you wouldn't. It might have been thingy. Who's the guy who dropped out last year? Was it Rez?
Rez. He didn't play Rez last year.
No. Who dropped out last year?
It was Rivang Roik.
Yeah, I think he actually got he might have got a dwarf versus a draw versus Roik last year, you know.
Yeah, he could have done.
Like Roik's last game. Yeah, I think it was like 1-1 draw or something like that. Yeah. So that tells you don't be too cocky because.
I think one of my strengths is I'm never cocky. I basically always look at the worst things, and I'm a bit like Serious Jess.
You're from Yorkshire.
I'm like Serious Jess. I'll find a way to make myself in the dog in anything. And the reason you do that is so you don't get complacent. That's the reason I do it anyway. But yeah, so that's them done. So now we're going to the 3 we think will make the playoffs. Now, like I said at the beginning of the show, you've been kidnapped because the Russians think you're an English spy. My arena has been like tidal waved. It's rained and we're all drowned. And we won't back till next season, so I can't.
Well, it wouldn't have to rain that much, mate. You're only short.
Well, they've washed away the stadium as well.
God, we had 6 inches of rain half the team's dead. And I realise the goblins out there. So the lizards haven't got any skinks. Oh, Jesus.
So with that, the pogo is going to be alright, though. So, here we go then.
That'd be an interesting weather thing, wouldn't it, for the game? Like torrential downpour. Anybody who stunts is going to roll on a roll of 1
I think it would be great. I would think tidal wave and all players moved half. So you got dwarfs moving at 2 squares. It'd be awesome. Oh no, JFI in the bloody rain, the tidal rain or whatever. Oh yes, I can see it now. Right.
Okay, so we're looking for the top 3 minus me and minus you. Okay.
Well, you can pick me if you want, but you can't pick yourself, and I can pick you, but I can't pick myself.
Okay.
So who's coming third? Who's coming third? I'm looking to my.
In an anomalous universe, who's coming third? I'll move to the next screen, mate.
Who?
Can you move to the next screen?
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, Slacker, come on. Chop, chop.
I'm a man. I
Come on back there, Bernie.
There we go. Oh dear.
Okay, in third position, I will go for Trippers.
It's not easy, is it? Trippers, eh? Ooh,
Yep.
Bit of triple of Dragoon's hoping you're going to say his team first. Right, okay. Third place is going to be Die Orkishan Brecher. I've basically I've said so much.
You
can bloody laugh all you bloody like. I've sort of backed them all the way through the stream, and I can't now, in good consciously, say all that and say I could win with that team and then not think they'll make the 3. So I'm going to say the Orcs will at least get third, and yeah, they're one of the very few teams who was undefeated after week 1. So I'm going to go the Orcs, Die Auction to get third spot. Second place then.
Second place, I'm going to go for the Dwarfageddon.
Ooh, the Dwarfageddon. Don't know why you're doing that. Okay, who am I going to go for second? Oh, it gets tough. Oh, man. Oh, God. Second place, I'm going to go with the Welsh River Rats. I'm going to go with the...
I thought you were going to say South. Just go
No, South's not going to this year. I can't. Now I'm going to go with the Welsh River Rats. That's the other team, and I've said this off air to you as well. I'm going solely on the coach and Rats. NTB's proven you can do well with a broken Rat team. So I am definitely going to go with Welsh River Rats to come second. So always let Bernie. Yeah, they do. To be fair, Shake. I don't know. To be fair, well, yeah, it did and it did. At least Shake. At least South did a decent thing. I said he'd make the playoffs and he did. He just didn't win it for me. Who's going to win this division then?
Okay, in an Alma's universe, because obviously Alma's transcended like a god.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Shaky.
Oh, don't say that.
I've said it.
You can't say that because I'm really struggling, and Shaky is one of those 2 teams I'm looking at to pick for first. What's really weird, because you'd think I would have picked one of them in the top 3, but see, the thing that the issue I've got with Underground is that they're underwhelmed. That's the issue I have with them.
Yeah.
I don't like Underworld.
My thinking is you go with the coach. He's a really good coach.
I know, you're doing the same as I did.
His team is really healthy.
It is healthy. I'm going back to see what he's got in his schedule again.
He's got a tough schedule.
Beasts, Rats, Amber, Pumas. Oh God, Reptilian. Oh, Tiger. He's got. Yeah, I don't know. If he can get through the first 4 games. Saying that, Diokishan's going to kill him in week 4.
Wouldn't be so sure.
I'm now delusional. I'm not thinking of anything but victory for them Greenskin. I will have nothing about it. They're going to win all their other games.
They won the first week game 5-0 in your revised world, mate.
Yeah, damn right. It was robbed week 1. He didn't have enough re-rolls. He was robbed. Oh God. See, I like Blood of Amber. I know
you do, mate.
I love tipping you to win it and then going bonkers if you don't. Model Saints, are they better than you? They have to prove it, I think. I can't trust Trip. I can't go for the Goblins. What does that leave me left? That leaves me left with the Beasts. I think they'll do well, but not well enough. So that leaves me with the Souls or you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, mate.
Who wants it more? Who wants the look? Shaky, do you want me to say you're gonna get the division?
Give it to Shaky.
Shaky, do you want it? How bad do you want it, Shaky? Do you want it? Do you want me to tip you to win the division? Let me know. You've got about 30 seconds. Yeah, there's 4 teams I looked at. And
He's trying to type that fast, he can't get the words out.
it's like, oh my computer's frozen, it's frozen, it won't work, my controller's got no battery! God damn it! Oh man, see the thing that hit me with double curse, I can, he's calling me out. What do you think, Alma? I should give him it.
I think what you should do, mate, is tip who you think will win it.
I can't tip myself. That's the rule.
Yeah. Oh,
see, I did a bit of Alma there. That felt good.
mate, nobody likes this arrogance, you know.
I'm going to tip. God, I don't like this. If Shaky was something not Underworld, it'd be so much easier. Now I'm going to go Blood of Amber. I'm going to go Blood of Amber. I think basically it's more fun winding up this lad if he messes up than Shaky. And Shaky's had a really rough time last season and in Blitz. I can't curse him. I can't. I'm not that nasty. So I'm going to go without.
But you curse me. You did the entire preview with you. Cheers, mate.
Hey, look, mate. You told me you're going to win it, so you wouldn't lie to me, would you? So
mate, I also tell you in clan, bust me every week, knowing that you won't. It's a bluff. One of these days you'll actually bust me in clan.
Yeah,
I'll be like,
you'll be like, what are you bust me for? You said bust me, but I didn't mean it.
Chuffs again, thanks Bernie.
Well, you should have beat me. But there you go. I mean, I don't know if people agree or disagree. I think it's really a close player pool, to be honest. And for us personally, I know for me anyway, it's really hard to guess. There's so many good coaches. But I'm going to go on the Alma train. I get suckered every season. He tells me he's going to win it. He hasn't won it yet, but I believe if I keep backing him every season, one of these times he's going to deliver. And I want to be there and said, I told you he would win it. So, you know, because I know if I don't tip you, you'll win it the season I don't tip you, a bit like NTB. He won it, I didn't tip him. I tipped him, he had the worst season. Didn't tip him, he won it. So, you know.
Cheers for tipping me, mate.
I thought you'd like that, mate. I thought you liked that. At least I didn't tip you to win your Sea Ladder game. But anyway, that's just done then. Thanks again. Thanks for Fight Token for being such a gent so you could finish this stream off. Thanks again for Alma for being on board and helping me out. I do have the West to do, so if anybody wants to maybe help me today or tomorrow, I can do that as well. That should be good fun.
Around the same time tomorrow, I should be around. Well, if you don't get anybody else.
Well, we can both do it together if you want tomorrow. I'm free.
Yep, and anybody else who wanted to join or whatever.
Yeah. Perfect. So that's just done then. Thanks again, guys. I wish everyone the best of luck. And yeah, go get them. See ya later on, guys.
Fire Talker, if you're still listening, mate, I'll be like 5 minutes. I'll just literally kill one of my children and then be on.
Fantastic. Brilliant. And that's just done then. See you later, guys. Take care and all the best, guys. Bye-bye.